15 minutes? An ugly world of the PlayStation 2 EyeToy. I have never heard of it whatsoever. Caddicarus!
It's a new year. For many, a new start. A time to reflect. A time for growth. A time of acceptance. And yet, for a select few people, some things never change. Oh, sorry. Are you the man from the skip? What are you doing? Oh, I see. Are you not going to jump out and break everything? You don't want to upset the neighbors? Okay, I'm going, I'm sorry. PlayStation 2, the best-selling suitcase of all time. It's hard to understate just how important this thing was when it came out, and even today, it deserves nothing but the highest dignity and respect for what it... It's hard to understate just how important this thing was when it came out, and even today, it deserves... It's hard to understate just how important this thing... And even today, it... Oh God, he got out. It's time. The house has been compromised. Arm the nukes. Thanks, Mummy. And even today, it deserves nothing but the highest dignity and respect. And millions of people still remember and cherish it fondly. But do they? Because despite selling over 155 million units, and most humans I've interacted with owning or at least playing a PlayStation 2 at some point in their lives, there's one...
I still have the PlayStation 2. So many games I enjoyed over the years.
Element, one snippet of the PS2 history that often raises an eyebrow whenever I bring it up. The smaller PS2. The EyeToy was released in 2003 and is a camera accessory for the PS2 which projects your own self into the TV and finally allows you to stroke Sonic. And letting you touch animals with your dad in the background sitting in a chair wasn't the only thing the EyeToy could do. It was also made for you to play a handful of exclusive games all based around motion detection, color detection, and even sound detection. Wait, EyeToy? But I already have one of them. Even though Sega had technically come up with this idea 3 years prior with the Dreamcast Dream Eye, that idea went just about as far as the colon, meaning that EyeToy was the first commercial version of camera-based gesture controls in console video games, which would then get furthered along with the PlayStation 3's PlayStation Eye, which would eventually pave the way for touch-based game control with the PlayStation Finger. This camera was way before Kinect, and a good few years before motion control fever hit the mainstream on Nintendo Wii, so why does EyeToy feel so forgotten? I don't know.
I never even heard of it.
That I've had since I was 9 years old when it first came out, and I absolutely loved it back then. In fact, while I was filming my Kinect video a few years ago, in many places I was convinced in my memory that the EyeToy actually worked better and more consistently than Kinect. But the problem there is, would you trust the memory of a person that whenever they hiccup, there's a 50% chance that they'll do a big shit? And that's why I wanted to revisit the EyeToy today, to see if it held up. And I figured the only fair way to do that was by buying the entire collection of every single EyeToy game that was ever released in every region. Can't get much more conclusive than that. And, in fact, I've gone so deep down the rabbit hole of trying to find every EyeToy exclusive game that I've even proven Wikipedia wrong, a website that has never been wrong a single time. It's not 25, it's actually 28. And no, I'm not going to update the page myself because I'm better than that, so you stick it in your bits, Wikipedia. File. Is the EyeToy as good as I remember? Did it run so that the Kinect could just walk? Will it stop looking at me with its eye? Well, let's find out with the PlayStation 2 EyeToy. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my OnlyFans. Yeah, of course it wasn't going to be that easy. This is 2003, remember? When everyone had a TV they could share a meal on. You can't just stick this on top of modern TVs, not even the silver revised model that lost weight. So before I could even start using this beast, I had to trade in my dignity and buy myself this bloody thing. Possessors teach, screen top shelf. Mount Lun seconds without any tools. It's a shelf for the top of your flat screen TV. Did you know this was a thing? I didn't, but luckily I managed to get the suspension type. Put your router on top of it, put your remote on top of it, put your flash drive on top of it with glasses, put your flash drive on top of it without glasses. Freely adjusted full desktop. Maximum carry, rack only takes 2 seconds. Easy to install. No.
It's not gonna age well, the PlayStation EyeToy. But what the heck?
This is proof that God has left us. Hang on, wait, we're missing something. Give me a sec. Yep, that's it. It's complete. I'm ready to go online and say some slurs now. Let's kick things off with the first game ever made for the camera, EyeToy Play. Since this was indeed the first game released to demonstrate this revolutionary tech, it naturally opens up with an instructional video on how to set it up.
The only other things you'll need are a console, a TV...
Oops. I don't have... Once you get your TV and PS2 hooked up to watch the video you are already watching with your TV and PS2 hooked up, the next thing you need to do is grab your nan's body from under the floorboards and then puppeteer her around the house to smash it all up so you can blame it on her. Then when the room is clear, make sure you're 1.5 to 2 meters away from the TV, in the center of the frame, and not too bright or too dark.
Place the camera in the middle of your TV. Either below...
Wow, what a great idea. Hello, young lady.
After this is my favorite part though. To quit out of whatever game you're playing, you don't use the controller. These are controller-free games. So instead, you pretend the camera is from NBC after Chris Hansen catches you.
By the way, you know how the Kinect screams and shouts at you when it can't see you? You're too close and you're invading my personal space.
You're too far, I've lost my glasses.
Yeah, well, have you seen how alpha the EyeToy is?
You can, of course, cheat by moving your whole body close to the camera.
Yeah, not only does it still work, but it works so well that all of the games consider it cheating if you do it. And it doesn't cry at you either. Like a scab. I call children scabs.
And here we are. Why is the default French? So this is it. This is the EyeToy. And what I'm doing right now? No, I'm not the queen. This is how you navigate 99% of the EyeToy library. Waving over buttons. When they said you aren't using a controller at all, they really committed to it.
What's video messaging? Record message for who? Who's gonna see this? So it's the idea that, like, I can record a message and then people will... Like, I can save it to the memory card, and then whoever I sell this memory card to at, like, a flea market will then find it and see what I've had to say to them from beyond the grave in 100 years. Greetings, Earthling. I'm Jim, and this is a house. I don't know if you still live in a house, but if you still live in a house, this is what they used to look like. And if you do still live in a house, that's lucky, because I know your address. And I have a gun. Honey, what have you got to say?
And yes, I know, this camera image is Vaseline. It's ugly, like egg-fried man. But, I mean, yeah, it is. What a good critic you are. Give yourself a pat. You should work for Kotaku. Of course it's ugly. It's just under 240p and being blown up on a TV literally 9 times the pixels it can output. What do you expect from a camera with less megapixels than Ray Charles?
Don't worry, though. That messaging system is not all this game is. There are some things that we can play, too. Ooh, who should I be? QT? You can't say that. She's probably a minor. I'm sorry, that's the guy from the Gorillas. That's straight up the guy from the Gorillas. I'm sorry. Vernon Bok. I like him. Or there's Q.
Minigame 1, Beat Freak, and I've got some people to beat for the high score. Dex and Meth.
I like banging. I'm gonna do banging. I'm gonna have a bang on my EyeToy.
It's a rhythm game. Imagine you're playing the drums on Guitar Hero World Tour, but the drums are missing and you've let all the flies get in. It's standard stuff, but honestly, I'm more taken aback by how well it's registering my hands hitting the beat. I wish I had more to say about it, aside from it reminding me how unfit I am.
Okay.
Next up is Kung Fu. Spelled like poo. The year is 2000 BC, and the sleeping village has been invaded by a giant Englishman. Your task? To clear out the whole of China from your living room. Not much to say here either. You wave your hands and smack tiny little men around. It's not the most stimulating thing in the world, aside from when you hit enough people and go into wobbly motion, but more importantly, well, my live reactions sum it up better than my script can.
How is this working so well? Connect was not this responsive or accurate. Bonus round, break the board. Obviously, you have to hit it in the middle, because if you hit the edges... This is so cool. It's actually... It actually knows that I'm hitting this... I'm super impressed.
So there you go. Not bad, Kung Foot. Also, you remember how the guy said earlier that moving your whole body close to the camera was cheating? Well, I'm not doing that now. I'm just waving more per second than average. But is this considered cheating? Where does the line get drawn between cheating and I can't help it, I'm recovering from a car crash? Next game, wishy-washy. You wash windows. You wash windows. You wash windows.
Can you imagine if I was cleaning windows and then, like, this was your view? I keep the window dirty. What's that do? I got 250 numbers.
If anything, I just wish I could play more of the game audio so you could share the joy of listening to George Formby's "When I'm Cleaning Windows" in the background of the game, but copyright doesn't want me playing a song about a perv watching women get undressed through their bedroom windows in a kid's game, so you'll have to go without.
The most surprising thing, though, is how much you actually have to bend over in this window washing game. And now my spine's broken. Whatever will I do? Wow, I am a new man.
Next game, keep-ups.
Come on, let's have it. How many keep-ups can you do?
I don't know, Gavin. It's some fish and chip bloody arse in it.
Now, the game wants you to position the camera high enough where you can use your head to bounce the ball up, but let's be real, you are not gonna bother tilting the camera up and risk all the motion on screen quitting the game before it even starts, and then just having to readjust it all after you're done. So essentially, you have no choice but to squat down and spring-load yourself upwards to play it properly. Don't worry though, because as I came to discover, you don't need to use your head. Just use any part of your body, and then whenever the screen goes dark, look at your reflection and wonder to yourself why you can't just find a real ball and go outside. Next game, boxing dump. Hold your arms towards your body in a guarding motion to avoid attacks from the opponent robot, and then hold your arms outwards away from your body in a punching motion to create an attack for the opponent robot. I'm not gonna lie, for as accurate as everything has been so far on this camera, this is not perfect, but it's still functional, and honestly, more reliable and better than anything on the HD 2010 Kinect, even though I look like an apron stain.
What are you so sad about?
A bit more practice and you'll be there.
I'm so sorry, I've got to go divorce me wife.
Next game, UFO Juggler.
I mean, the Kinect is good for one thing. Motion capture.
Look me square in the eyes and tell me you love me.
I should know, because I use
UFOs
it.
to keep them from falling, but don't wave on them too much or else they'll get overexcited and die. At least this one requires a bit of thought, multitasking and restraint. If you just stand in front of the camera and move your whole body to cheat, it won't work in this game. So make sure you play it properly and get 0 points. But you know what? It's not important if you're flying a plane, land it upside down and kill everyone on board. What really matters is did you get 4,000 skill points? Next game, Slapstream.
Are you ready to play with us?
That's...
Madam, I'm a 7-year-old boy.
What is a slapstream, you may ask? Well, let me show you. Next game, Plate Spinner. You spin plates. You know what? I love these game names. Everything today is so complicated. Don't you all yearn for the days of bowling, golf, skiing, eat, sit, chew?
Okay, so he said welcome. What's he going to say now? Thank you. Thank you for poor shaming me.
In conclusion, Plate Spinner is the scariest horror game of all time.
This is the trick. Ah!
Next game, Boogie Downwards. It's a Simon Says game. You look at the pole-legged woman for a bit and then copy her while making sure in between to lurk right behind her in her hair. Whenever you're next on a subway and want to start a Simon Says dance-off with a woman, just do this. It'll go really well. Next game, Ghost Catcher.
Something strange in your neighborhood. Reading of the call. The molester.
This game is like Kung Fu, except you're waving at slow-moving targets instead of smacking quick ones. It's making me very sleepy. I'm going to go.
Seeing things. Hiding in your
Oh, he's getting tired. I don't blame you.
The smell pusher away.
Then when you finally had enough, the game tells you got rid of 30,200 ghosts, so well done, pat yourself on the back. And then do it again because your lunch got stuck. Next game, Mirror Tim 3. My personal favourite in the Mirror Tim series.
Hey, you're looking good.
You're looking like you have one boob.
Now this is a head scratcher. What if I told you you had to wave in the corners of the screen, but then I cut you in half and flipped you around? I'm confident in saying this is a puzzle game. It actually gave me a headache trying to work it out as quickly as it wants you to. So I stopped working it out and instead tried to make myself throw up. Final game, Rocket Rumble. Look, the chest shelf came back, and boy is she having a mare, because she bought a load of fireworks that don't explode unless a big hairy man matches them by colour and then hits a spade. A common problem for a person born with one. You have to be very specific with your hand movements here, just like with hitting the center of the boards in Kung Fu, but it's just a little bit slower.
I've got to say, for being the first game ever made for brand new camera motion-based tech, it's surprisingly competent. It's not complicated, kind of asinine, but for a 20-year-old tech demo, it's alright. And
speaking of tech demos, EyeToy Play also took the chance to give you experimental things next to the minigames as a hint of what was possible and what could be done with the camera tech. You can see yourself underwater.
hey everyone, I'm caddicarus. I'm drowning for fun. I'm a whale.
You can see yourself as Bubbles.
You can't win the game. I'm everywhere, all at once, all the time, forever, and you never are able to get rid of me, which is a sad lesson of life that all of you need to know with me being on YouTube.
You can see yourself with balloons.
Yay! So if you ever wanted a real birthday and you aren't allowed one at home, you can now do it on PlayStation 2.
You can see yourself in ice.
Has anybody ever wanted to be stuck in a cube of ice?
Yes, me.
You can see yourself materializing.
This is really cool. I dig this. EyeToy's my new favourite thing. So if I like duck down really quickly, it actually looks like I disappeared.
You can see yourself with sand in different colours.
Okay. Oh, sorry everyone, I dribbled. Oh, I'm still dribbling. Sorry everybody. Life hasn't been the same since Chernobyl.
You can see yourself with spiders.
So these spiders are all in the housing market, and you've got to just try and gather them all up and move them into shared accommodation. Oh, this is cool. Boring, actually.
You can see yourself with bees.
This is making. Octa, I'm free. And we can't.
Sorry,
we
it's-
can't
can we get to the next game,
draw
please?
the paper.
And you can even see yourself with leaves.
Wow, guys.
Oi.
Fitting without the mess.
What?
Hey everybody, this is my impression of someone that has it completely together.
How in the world can I replicate that style in 2022?
I don't need that pill. I'm fine. Like, I'll see you same time next week, alright? Bye! Don't worry about me, I'll see you soon! Actually, I changed my mind. This is my new favourite one. No effect. Well, they didn't lie about that.
I'm sorry, everybody. I was just busy listening to Jamiroquai Toy Groove. Yeah, I mean, why the hell not? You've got some new motion camera tech for a game console. Of course a dance party was around the corner. And here it is, EyeToy Groovesva, the first game for the PS2 that allows you to control it with your ass. Get on up to get on down. What? Kick-in playlist featuring Madonna, Village People, Fatboy Slim, Last Ketchup. Hey everyone, do you know who I think of immediately after listening to Elvis? The best part of the bag for me, though, is that the first bonus feature listed is a calorie counter. Hi, customer, thanks for buying our game, and as a special bonus, we'll tell you how fat you are. Right, here we go, EyeToy Groove. It's the Freaky Beats game from EyeToy Play, but like My Little Pony on DeviantArt, expanded. There's plenty of licensed songs to dance to, and the game recognizes everything you do to a T. I'm actually kind of stunned, to be honest. This dinky little thing has no right to work this well.
Young man, there's no need to feel young, I said, old man. You have got a bad back and you'll stay there when you fall on the floor and you can't get up. You're 30. It's fun to stay on the floor.
I mean, what else is there to say? It's a rhythm game and it works. But now you're in it and flapping around like a duck who couldn't escape the hound. This is basically as simple to get into yet difficult to master as DDR, but with your hands. I like this game. Go and get it and then invite your friends over to play it, as long as they can fit.
Long tennis spin. Which one is my song? This one. Yes. Work. Go. This is long discrimination. We are family. And all of my sisters are long. I'm going deeper underground. I'm digging. Oh, I found my ancestor. Oh. Didn't know. Oh.
Kaiketsu Zorori up is a game. This is... I'm gonna look it up. Kaiketsu Zorori Misase Itazura King. This is 1 out of 3 Japanese exclusive EyeToy games, and I have absolutely no idea what this is, but I think I might enjoy it. It's got a coconut pig and a seaman cat and a blurry Japanese boy and someone about to tell me how wrong I am.
Well, actually.
Now, in any other circumstance, I would usually go into immense depth and detail about the history of this game and then critique it through the lens of its mechanics and then impact on the video game industry as a whole. But this one time I'm not going to do that because this game opens up with you sucking farts out of a pig.
What the f...
Doesn't feel right watching this.
Now, that should be where we stop. But I want to see how this story mode unfolds. However, if there is a story mode within this game and there is a story happening, there's only so much the Duolingo bird can help me, and that's going to make things difficult. But actually, does that matter when the first thing the story asks of you is to suck big ones out of a pig's hole to power a smelly cannon? No, it doesn't. So the next thing you have to do is mess up a bedroom and get tissues everywhere for the splat that's sure to follow.
There's a
And then
freaking
follow
fly
it
in
up
here.
with a game where you draw out Japanese letters on a light board that doesn't know if you're drawing them out accurately or powering an eco-friendly power station. So honestly, who cares?
Do I have to have this sound that is just constantly reminding you, like, you pinching under a skirt? I don't need that. I don't get why he's got cauliflower fingers. I don't get why these guys won't stop tooting their toot. I don't get why there's a golden bulldog judging me. Oh no, red word. Great.
Hey boys and girls, have you ever wanted to conduct an orchestra by drawing squares, drawing squares, drawing squares, drawing squares, and drawing a triangle? And then another square?
Oh, watch out. Oh, watch out, everybody. The nerd has loaded.
After that, you get a game where you have to try and tickle your dad. And then you get to play a game when you're getting rid of all the pigs snotting all over you by clapping the bubbles. And yes, EyeToy does recognize when you clap, because I tried to just wave them away and it didn't work. So fair play to you, Senator Bag Cheeks. You may be a disgusting game, but you do know how to program a mechanic where you can only clap on the cat's spit. Then you have a quick game of stealing everyone else's food while slapping them away if they dare come near you. Starve, you dog. And then this happens.
What have we got here? Are we a fridge? Or a mirror? Wait. Are these changing rooms? Do you want to play a peeping Tom simulator? Look! Oh, well, tough shit for them, I guess. Soap fell on them.
Now, that should be where we stop. But I wanted to give the game one last shot at making some kind of sense. Surely the pajama cat will start doing something regular. And then this happened.
Here comes the policeman.
The policeman! Okay, so we're... No! Are we... Wait. Are we taking the farts to the policeman? Is that what we're doing right now? That's me in the corner. You know, when you're playing games for a living, you have to reach some limit. There has to be a line that has to be drawn, and I think that line is drawn on a children's game about a hairy pig farting in a policeman's face. That's when you stop.
By the way, doing well at this at all, yet the blurry child on the back of the box has no issues at all. Maybe he has a hint. What's he saying? Yowo, easygoing, math. Bring on the bread.
But I suppose if nothing else can be said for this game, at the very least, I know that I am wider than the average Japanese child. Hello!
Hello, I'm Spons! Spons? You didn't tell me that you were a robot?
Okay. I'm gonna stop for now because caddicarus making these long videos will kind of make me have fatigue or something, and I might get tired out eventually. I'm starting to get tired out. I'll check it out. This is part 1, guys. Part 2.
Hello!
Hello, I'm Spons!
Hello, I'm Spons! Spons? You didn't tell me that you were a robot?
This video has been sponsored by Ready Shadow Legend of Fresh VPN.
I should have known. This is what happens when I don't have a sponsorship. He doesn't know what to do with him. Oh, he's not a robot. He's flesh and bone. He's dead. But without Spons, I can't sell anything. Let alone my own high-quality merchandise from my high-quality merchandise site that is high quality. No, I'm gonna need to keep using it. Caddicarus has some new merchandise available for you right now at pixelempire.com/caddy. There are now 4 new items to eat, including a sticker of this confident little goblin, a new poster of this brave idiot that comes with a free sticker of this scared idiot, and 2 new t-shirts. When you can't afford high-end headphones, pick up the new Breets by Dr. Cad. And when you need to buy something naughty but don't have your ID, make sure you prove your age by
Back
showing
is
the cashier
itchy
that
from
you
all
are
the
rated P for
advertisement.
policeman. And not only are these new designs up for grabs,
seriously,
on their
my back
own,
is
but
itching.
they're
I don't
also
know
part
why.
of a competition, aren't they, Spons? Yes, you're right. The first 200 customers who buy 3 or more items from my store will automatically enter themselves in for a chance to win one of my 10 remaining limited edition Blu-ray sets with a signed thank you card inside and a 15-minute Zoom call with me. Yes, not you. Me. And of course there are the other t-shirts and Crash Bandicoot Platinum Relic tracker poster based on the London Underground. They're all still there, and there's nothing stopping you from buying all of it. It's what Spons would have wanted. Buy it all for him. If he looks this good in all of it and he's dead, imagine how your alive flesh will look. Deck yourself out today at pixelempire.com/caddy so you can be cooler than everyone else around you. Don't be square, be kite. Oh, wait, hang on. He's not gone yet. I think he might have a final thing to say. Manscaped! Right, we're only 3 games in, and the 4th game is sports. Sorry. So here we have a quaint little game called Ooh Move, which is what old ladies say to me when I sit next to them on the bus. And you can tell from the box that we're in for a rip-roaring good time because the lady in the TV is out of focus. First
That was
off,
me
we
doing
have
the bowling.
art studio for all the miscellaneous trash that doesn't fit the theme of sports. We have blurred slow motion.
Welcome to my stand-up. I have a joke for you. Get ready. Sew your pants, because they'll leak. What happened to me when this morning I missed the bus? I missed the...
We have Defrosty.
Oh no, nobody can see me. What am I gonna do? Oh, I know. Make it see me. And lag.
We have Sand.
So apparently this is what we're...
I just realized something. When I posted Avengers 2 Chapter 1, I seen that slow motion effect. I did a sort of slow motion effect, but it was just a slowed down thing with SFM. But holy shit, maybe I should have just tried to replicate that blurred effect at least a little bit. Kind of a missed opportunity. Ah well.
Calling sand. Sand is more or less exactly like I'm going to distort my voice and talk to you about my horrible traumatic experience dealing with a former children's TV presenter. At this point, I could like roll my sleeve up. Okay, you want to see some sand? All right.
We have party time.
Are you okay? You are not okay. When was the last time anyone went to a party like this? Stop looking at me. I don't know what you think I can do for you, but I can't do that. This is borderline analog horror. I feel as though something's gonna come from the dark behind me. Stop it. What, what? Do I dance? Oh, you do!
We have kaleidoscope.
Oh.
And here we see the plumage of the blossoming Jimus caddicarus. That part is where the seeds are sown. Oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
We have lawnmower.
Oh, shall I mow the whole lawn and see what happens? I'm gonna see what happens if I mow the whole lawn. I'm not mowing the lawn anymore.
And we even have this.
Bouncing baby. I've always wanted to bounce one of them. False advertising. I wanted to smack a baby.
But we don't care about any of that. We want to move. Okay, well, I don't want to move, but we want sports. Well, no, I don't want sports either. No, I don't want any of this. First off, we have perfect goalie. Only one problem, though. Just like William Shakespeare, it doesn't work. I don't know, maybe we finally reached the point where it's nothing to do with how good the camera itself is, but how the devs are able to make it work. I should have been able to save at least half of these goals, but it just didn't work properly. How can you go from accurate angle wood chopping and spit bubble clapping to your entire body not being able to block a ball? I know, maybe it's because the game is too quick, so how about we slow it down with ball-tossing aliens?
Yeah, a little bit too slow.
Why won't you return my calls?
Up next is yellow card.
Watch out for those yellow cards. Wave your hands over the referee's hands to persuade him not to penalise you. You know how in real football that the referee gets somebody's card out and then they just give him a little tickle and then the card goes away?
You'd think this would be more engaging than just wave over one person at a time and wait until you're able to wave at somebody else, but nope, that's honestly all that you do. It's mind-numbing, but you gotta keep going. Could you live with yourself if your high score was lower than fudge?
Honest to God, what is going on with your head? I swear someone dropped this on London during the Blitz.
Space Breakout. You're bouncing a football and playing Breakout. What more does a growing boy need? Not really much to say here. It's fine. So we'll move on to the next game, which is called Dribbling. Yes! It's another slug game where you move a ball left and right between cones very slowly. You know, for a game that's telling me you move, it sure is spending a lot of its time telling me you stand still. Look at me. Look at me. This is the face of someone alert and ready for another EyeToy football game. Except he isn't, because I'm gonna skip the rest of them and...
This is the face that is not amused with the games that caddicarus is showcasing.
See what else there is to do.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sorry about that. What you'll find with a lot of the EyeToy library is that they're just minigame compilations that are all variations of the exact same idea.
I'm not doing the same thing over and over again. I'd rather play Batting Frenzy.
Foul!
Or Rugby Clash that tells you to run, block and throw but doesn't work properly. Or Horse Racing that's spelled wrong because maybe the name of the horse is Horsey and lets you ride the back of a horse while spanking it and looking at the cured prosciutto ham coming out of its mouth. Or Hole in One that isn't golf at all and is just pushing everything away from a ball that's been hit by someone else with a snowman on his head, and that ends with a high score photo being taken of you while you weren't expecting it. Happy birthday. By the way, I am aware that we have just started this marathon, but to be honest, I am already getting very tired of all of the waving you've got to do on everything. Especially in the games when you don't even need to be standing there or waving at anything, but because it's on EyeToy and you're on camera and you've got to use your arms and motion control and everything, you just got to stand there and wave at everything all the time. Even if you don't need to do any standing up or waving or moving around, you could use a controller, but it's an EyeToy game, so you've got to just stand there and wave at everything. It's just non-stop, all the time. This is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face, and now I've lost my face. Here is an EyeToy exclusive Ape Escape spin-off. Very cool. Monkey Mania. Whoa! Is that an
I
open
never
mouth,
played
or does he
Ape
just have
Escape.
really big lips? I don't know what to expect here, but this kid doesn't look like he's having a good time. He looks very concerned. And this girl came dressed up in a BMX helmet.
Oh, come on! Why does that keep happening?
Be careful not to run into objects or people.
Gee, I forgot. Thanks, Monkey Mania.
Now, I love me some Ape Escape, and I know about stuff like Ape Academy and Ape Quest, but somehow I didn't even know this was a thing until just now. So to commemorate this, my name is Beef. I also need an accessory, so I went with an exploding head. And as far as my profile picture, perfect. The game has just started, and I have been provided an opponent worthy to rival the gusto of the mighty Beef. Saruman from Lord of the Rings. I wasn't sure what I was expecting here exactly, but it turns out Monkey Mania is a Mario Party clone. Vomit. So if you've played Mario Party before, you'll know what you'll be getting into. Roll a number, land on a space, deal with whatever the space says, collect items to win, and occasionally compete in minigames to win or lose more items. But now you're doing it all in a urinal. It's just Mario Party, but standing up. Not much more to say here.
He is done with his shit.
No, there is more. It's Mario Party, but with mini-games that take over a minute to finish instead of seconds, items you can buy as many times as you want in one go, but then also can't use them at the same time as moving along the board. The way you win the game is by having enough monkeys to reach the top, and yet when you reach the space to win the game, it still asks you if you want to go to the winning space.
So he named his monkey Saruman. And so far, Saruman is winning. If I was playing this game, I could probably pick some other name. A name of a dominatrix supervillain.
To immediately win the game, meaning that you can choose not to win the game, and to top it all off with a bright red infected cherry, the scoring system gives you effort points that don't mean anything. But in fairness, if I was going to the butcher's to buy a slab of beef for 1p, I would put 5 effort in as well. Even worse, a round of this for 23 minutes, and in all of that time, I played 5 mini-games. The rest of the time was exactly what you're looking at right now, for minutes and minutes at a time. It's so boring. Ape Escape and boring go together like unleaded petrol and your liver. I don't even know why this warranted use of the EyeToy, because not only do barely any mini-games happen that you actually get mileage out of the camera, but also because 70% of the time you're just sat down watching your computer player doing more than you, and every so often a tentacle appears that isn't mine, I promise. Wow, really? I can finally play the Crash and Cone minigame whenever I want, where I drive a badly cut out JPEG that doesn't steer properly? Be still, my beating heart. Please. It's too exciting. My heart's racing. It hurt. My chest hurts. Stop. I'm losing breath. Stop exciting me. Don't talk to me. I'm going to die. Here we have SpongeBob SquarePants Move In with Friends. Well, if you do that, make sure you all take turns cleaning the dishes and that you all pay your fair share of the bills. I hate myself. Rotate the manual focus ring until the image...
Wait, can I see that again?
Rotate the manual focus ring until the image is sharp. Oh yeah. Sharp as a wooden
SpongeBob moving
spoon.
with
For
friends.
this adventure, I am Moltingy, and unlike every real-life human baby, you get to pick your color.
Orange splatter. I am cyan, chocolate, delta blues, mellow yellow, red alert, in the pink.
Oh dear.
One in the pig, one in the stinker.
And yes, I know I said it was an adventure, but no, it isn't. It's more mini-games back-to-back from various Nickelodeon shows. But that's not an issue. I'm privy to the occasional Nickload on me. So let's kick it off with SpongeBob games, starting with bowling, which feels completely impossible to get a strike on, and I don't appreciate Patrick's trapdoor mouth or SpongeBob looking at me like he wants to take me backwards. After that, you get a matching game, which is honestly impossible, because how are you supposed to pick one ingredient at a time and then move to another ingredient without the rest of your body activating another ingredient? I don't know, and I would ask SpongeBob, but he's a bit too busy reliving his time in the IRA. But then there's this driving game.
IRA?
This is good shit. You hit the left and right side of the car to change lanes, collect bubbles, and avoid drain covers. It's like playing Subway Surfers or Temple Run on your phone, but much more fun. And all it takes is a PS2 console,
Much more
SpongeBob
fun?
on PS2, an EyeToy camera, decent lighting, and a 50-kilo...
Much more fun than a mobile game. Despite having the simplest concept ever. I don't know what to feel about you. I don't know what to feel about you, Caddy.
box. I even got a high score in this one, and I will cherish that memory forever. We've also got another good one next with jellyfishing. Even though all you have to do is hit jellyfish and try to stop hitting Squidward because you don't need to go through the effort. He'll end himself with a shotgun in a few years. It's a really fun time. But when I say it's quick, I do mean it. You've only got 61.9 seconds to do it. But that is enough of Patrick and Sponge Robert. What about his friends he's moving with? Well, they don't get anywhere near as much of the same attention as he does, both for the amount of minigames and for what they even are.
I mean, SpongeBob is in the title, not Nicktoons, so I guess it's not completely false advertising?
Just picture panel swapping, extended arm flying through rings, Jimmy Neutron massive head juggling, hockey puck goalkeeping while giving up on life and realizing what an embarrassment you are, waving on cracks in a fish tank, this absolute dog shit submarine game that's supposed to let you control the depth but just doesn't work, and a game of Snake but with magnets on the edge of the arena pulling Daniel Fant towards the pickups. The only thing worth mentioning that stands out is this Billy Hatcher Katamari-esque Fairly Odd Parents arcade game that's really fast paced and controls really well, and this Danny Phantom Ghost busting game where you have to time left and right long-range blast to hit the ghosts, almost like Hungry Hungry Hippos, but people jumped into the enclosure, and at that point you might as well say goodbye to little Billy because his head won't belong to him anymore. As a whole though, this is a really odd game. It's really hard to have a solid feeling on something when 1 second you're having a blast and then immediately afterwards the menu won't stop scrolling left and all you can do is watch in horror. This game is like, the half of it works perfectly and is really fun, and the other half fell asleep. SpongeBob on PS2 is a stroke. Hang on, what? Who's that over there? Hey, Caddy, how's it hanging? Oh, of course! It's my favourite part of me, the top of my own head. I won't be long, I just came down to show you something from inside myself that you probably forgot about but really liked. Well, top of my own head, I would really appreciate something that I like. What is it?
Sega Superstars?
Oh no, I'm in the way. Sega Superstars, a game that I played all the time and loved to pieces as a kid, but also the only game that ever pissed me off so much I ripped its film off. Now the absolute first thing to mention beyond anything else so far about Sega Superstars is that it has a very funny confirmation noise. That, and based on the intro alone, this is the most amount of effort put into any one of these games so far, if for no other reason than it actually gives you another original Choo Choo Rocket, Billy Hatcher, and Nights into Dreams game that you control like there's a pole stuck up in you, just like it's right up in you. But that's not all. Sega Superstars kind of goes out of its way to translate their own series into motion-controlled camera filming a real person minigames, and even if they are just the same ideas all over again, like Samba de Amigo being yet another EyeToy groove, they managed to fill every inch of the screen with way more personality, color, and just general stuff than any of the other games so far. You and your ditchwater living room aren't the focal point anymore, you're just part of the game worlds now. Maybe aside from Virtua Fighter when Akira just bursts into your house to steal your cushions, but don't worry.
Shh, I'll take care of you. We can get you some new furnishings at Dunelm.
I am legit impressed by the production values here, and all the games work great too. What possessed 10-year-old me to tear this game's skin off? Was it Super Monkey Ball? It was probably Super Monkey Ball. But saying that, it's not even that hard. I managed to get through it all, no problem. I even got a high score, which I've never done on Monkey Ball before.
Yeah, give me some skin. Oh,
The Space Channel 5 game is great for being a copying memory game and rhythm game at the same time, and for finishing off each round by putting you right bang dot in between her legs. Why did they do this? Why is this even possible? There isn't anything to see anyway, because somebody went under her skirt and put polyfiller in it. Then there's Choo Choo Rocket, of course, for multitasking, timing-based puzzling. Virtua Striker for being just a really responsive and fun way to head a ball into score balloons. Puyo Pop Fever for being the most accurate object interaction minigame I think I've ever seen from a 240p 2003 webcam. And just, I mean, look at how smooth and quick Knights is to control around. Connect, what is your excuse? More like Kid Not. Sega Superstars is even made well enough where I was able to get a high score on nearly every
Angry
minigame.
Joe would be
Aside from
baffled
Crazy
if he
Taxi.
hears about this.
Yo! Apparently I've got to yell! Move your body to get the taxi! Okay, hello! I need a ride to the train! Look out for what? Time's over.
And so to celebrate, they asked for my picture to go on the front screen of every single minigame. So I gave it to them. A massive congratulations to Ool, Bink, Gust, Ache, Drink, Oimate, Dable, Fair, Womanum, At Tag Damp, and of course, the man who was named in honor of what Billy Hatcher is all about, Fetus.
Wait a minute, this game's 3+, and yet somehow they managed to get zombie violence past the censors. That's hardcore. Sega, you are a company. A publishing company, in fact.
That started all the way back in 1940 when they were known as Standard Games, providing coin-operated games for military bases in Hawaii. After that, in 1952, they moved to Japan, and then a lot of other stuff happened, and then they made Sega Superstars, and on top of all the quirky, unique, cool shit this game does do, it isn't all for the sake of high scores and nothing else. It's so that you can earn rings and then use those rings to buy stuff for your pet chow. Oh my god! Yeah, I know this is a Sonic Adventure thing, it's not mind-blowing or anything, but do you get to tickle your chow yourself? Or pet your chow yourself? Or go and see a dodgy blind man to spend $10,000 on a tree in the black market yourself? No, you don't. But you do here, in this game. And is it all worth it to watch your chow eat shrinking cake and then spend $5 grand on a trumpet that only gives you a percentage of a chance that he'll ever pick it up and toot off? Yes. Yes, it is. I spent over an hour on this game and I genuinely enjoyed nearly every single moment of it. I mean, take a step back and that's a really dumb thing to say. Yeah, man, this game is so fun, you want to play it for at least an hour, but for something as physically demanding as this, yeah, that's an accomplishment.
Oh, they shat on me.
Thing is, though, it is still just wiggling your turkey wings at a load of shapes while Sega characters shout at you. I'm not sure I'd go as far as to say it's your new favorite game of all time. Oh yeah? PSW? That's a hot take. Is that why you went bankrupt?
Oh.
And just for fun, here's something you can try at home! Remember that the EyeToy is indeed a USB camera. In fact, the first batches of these were made by Logitech, of all people. So, if you wanted to, with the correct drivers, you can use this on your PC. As a webcam, with its built-in microphone and everything. Incredible. 20 years old, still able to control video games, and out of the box, ready for your next Zoom meeting.
So with a little redistribution, we will all be more productive. See what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. What do you think, Jim?
Kenneth, you're a slug, and Sharon, get in the bin.
It's a pretty bad webcam, though.
Toy Anti-Grab, the only game I can think of where it advertises itself by showing a boy with no head jumping over his TV with his jeans falling down and his boxers hanging out. This game was made by Harmonix, the same people behind the original Guitar Hero and Rock Band. That's odd. But more importantly, what even is this bit here? What is that in your pants, man? Why are you keeping a white rose in your trousers? Well, first things first, this intro goes hard. I am digging this style, and listen to the music for God's sake. And then after a super quick head calibration test, we turn into fog and then we get to pick our character, who all have great things to say, like,
I get my kicks busting tricks like a lunatic.
And there's even a cameo from Tetsuo the Iron Man. Don't let him touch you though, you'll get rusty. But ultimately I went with this guy, whose name is Compound. Compound the Man. Why is he called Compound? It's like having a baby and naming him Car Park. And as you could probably guess from the cover, EyeToy Antigrav is a hoverboard game that requires your whole body to make it work.
Wait, I know what that is like. That is like other video game.
Sonic Freeride. Would you believe it though when I say that EyeToy Antigrav, a game that's 6 years older than Sonic Riders, on a console 32 times less powerful than the Xbox 360, using a motion capture device half the resolution and lacking the infrared technology of Kinect, works infinitely better than it. Because it does. All of the ducking, all of the jumping, all of the leaning, all of the arm reaching out at multiple levels while standing or bending down, all of the arm movements needed for air tricks, all of the steering and slowing down, all of the flying with your arms held out like a dying Christ. Everything you see here not only works well, but is also reliable. The only thing I couldn't get working was how sensitive the name enter screen was, so I guess CAC will have to do. But bigger picture, look everyone, I managed to win a race. Twice. I even got a high score on the combo trick race, and I couldn't even do one trick in Tony Hawk Ride, which had no camera at all. Caddicarus.
Honestly, this game is good. I'm speechless.
Wow.
Hello, Caddy. It's Joe. How are you?
Aha! I can't believe it. Look, everybody. It's my stepbro...
Well, then it's a good thing that I've always been on the PlayStation side. Am I right? Seriously, that Kinect, the Kinect for Xbox 360 I got, it's only good for motion capture stuff. Seriously. Oh, Microsoft Xbox with the Halos. You just don't compare to the might of Sega. Sorry, Xbox fanboys, but you're losers!
With one leg longer than the other, Jolene. What are you doing here, Joe?
I was playing EyeToy Antigrav, but couldn't stop turning left.
Oh, bless. What did you think would happen, idiot?
It's not my fault. I just got here, and I couldn't get out of the door frame, so I decided to try it. It's the first game I've ever played.
Well, I'm really sorry that the first video game you ever played was the only one that required you to stand upright to get working properly. But don't worry, I've got some more... Oh, he's down.
It's okay, I'm used to it.
Well done. Well, in that case, why don't we take a look at the next game, the second in the three...
Can you lift me up, please?
Why don't we take a look at the next game, the second in the three...
Help me, step bro, I'm stuck.
The next game is the second of the 3 Japanese EyeToy exclusives, and it's called... Clamp. I don't know what it is or what it's about, but one thing is for certain, there is EyeToy. That's a good sign. I don't know, what does Google think? Next door requires EyeToy camera. Little does he know, I am really into this.
It just got creepy all of a sudden. Like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
According to some research, I figured out this is actually called Card Captor Sakura, featuring Sakura and Asbo. And usually I'm able to muddle my way through a foreign game to get to the actual game, or at least figure out the concrete base of what's going on, but I actually have no idea this time what is going on. I even managed to get into what I thought was the story mode, and after 4 minutes of waving to skip all of the voiceless dialogue I couldn't read, I got to a new menu, guessed what I was supposed to click on next, and then got slapped back to the main menu, meaning I had to start it all over again. My point is, if I've ever upset you in the past for not liking a thing that you like, here is your evidence why you should never listen to me. So here we go all over again. Another 4 minutes of skipping dialogue.
Hey guys, it's me, it's caddicarus.
And I'm very proud to announce my new gameplay channel, Forehead Gaming.
Yes, finally! I waved on the right thing and now we're getting somewhere. Look, it's a man with an acorn head who's too big to fit in this young girl's room, so he sunk through the floor. And I guess he's now given us a load of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Is this the card capturing the game is named after? I don't care. Each of these cards hosts a mini-game and that is all that I need to know. And the very first thing that I tried out was a maze game. Great. As it goes with maze games, they are mazes, which means they're very easy to get lost in. And not only do you get lost, but you have to get unlost by holding your arm extended from your body for 4.5 minutes straight while people walking by your house look through your window and start calling the local neighborhood watch. Then there's this game about smacking little pimples with ears, and this is where I discovered the best feature of Cardcaptor Sakura. It's the only EyeToy game out of all 28 that doesn't let you pause or quit, either from covering the lens completely or from a PS2 controller manual override. Once you start a game, you are married to whatever rollerblading gout you've got until you either run out of time or win the game, including this pinball game that just drones on forever until you lose all of your balls, this slot machine game that's just hitting one button and luck for 1.5 minutes, and especially this card matching game, which in all fairness is alright because you've got to try and match everything up while the cards get mixed up after every turn. But this game lasted me 7 minutes, 7 whole minutes of standing there and waving like a grandma saying goodbye to her grandkids for the last time. Eventually I got fed up and just decided to sit it out and do nothing.
One of my grandmothers, who's a terrible grandmother, never waved to me. Because the last time I blew up at her face. She's just an incompetent grandmother, that's all. She's just incompetent.
Final season of Breaking Bad to come out. Bad broke. And then the timer eventually did run out. And yet somehow I still won 3-0 after 4 minutes and 50 seconds of not doing anything. Does anybody have a little girl I could strangle? Oh, don't worry, I found one.
That's summer, man. I'd give anything to live it again. Take me back.
All in all, Cardcaptor Sakura on the PS2 EyeToy is the best game for you if you want to see your finger poke the head of your underage waifu.
But whatever you do, don't poke the EyeToy man.
Hey, you know what I want to know? If playing is so great, then where's Play 2? Here it is. Now I know what you're thinking. Cads, matey boy, isn't EyeToy Play 2 just 2 EyeToy Play 1s? No, moron. It's 2 EyeToy Play 2s. I guess the original pack-in tech demo was popular enough where it earned itself a sequel, and in fairness, this was the EyeToy game that 10-year-old Caddy put the most hours into, so let's see if there's anything to be saved from a man that really, really, really wants that baseball. This looks fine, nothing wrong here.
I'm here to help you find your way around the game.
I'm here to tell you to shut up.
Make sure that you can fit inside the player outline.
Like you fit in your own coffin.
EyeToy Play 2 is the same as the first game, but with 10 times the production values, way more mini-games, way more multiplayer games, even though I'll die alone, and just a slightly higher degree of polish all across the board. Which also means alongside the mini-games, we also have more of these lab experiments that you don't necessarily play, but goddamn, you just have to look at them all anyway.
It's the Cadstellation. Featuring the ceiling, the endless reaches of space. Population 1. Size pretty massive. This is the Jim Nebula, and one of the stones is here. Mound. In the planet Mound, everybody bleeds. But the good thing is, the bleeding is fun. So everyone does it to themselves. And that's why there's no one living here anymore. Another planet you can visit is this one. It's called Marble. In the planet Marble, everyone that's here has a really long fronted cap on their head. Be careful though. Whenever
His
you
wife
move,
is certainly
you
helping out and having a
bring
good
the
time,
icy
isn't she?
Cold reminder of ice. Then, of course, no one can forget the planet Boyle. On the planet Boyle, not only does it look like a boil, but you also boil. And then when you are done with your tour around the Jim Nebula, you get a souvenir in the form of one of those Jewish hats. So now you have a keepsake for all time. Thank you for visiting the Jim Nebula. Bye. Brightly coloured fruit. Okay, so to save ourselves from getting a healthier diet and looking after ourselves, I've decided to do the next best thing and just find whatever we had in the fridge for this video game. So I managed to find a yellow pepper, a tiny carton of apple juice. Where are they gone?
I don't know.
I was gonna add my wagon wheel. Well, this is great. I have an empty carton of apple juice and a woman on a pepper. Wow, everybody. I'm invisible. Why does the mirror in the background have skin now? So how do I go high? Oh, so I have to talk to it. Oh, we actually get to play pool. I've just started and I lost. Yeah. What happens if I dab it?
Oh, you get one in.
Yeah, boy. Oh, I like that. Oh. And now we have finished. We have finished our masterpiece. Can anyone see what I was going for? Yes, that's right. It's a self-portrait. So enough of that. Let's try the real game. It works. It works. Look, I know I'm saying this a lot. Trust me, I know. But when your most recent experience of this kind of technology is the penguins of Madagascar, you find yourself saying that a lot when it does end up working. I'm more floored by just how accurately it reads your body movements, even to the top of your fingertips, which is so pixelated and indistinguishable on the camera that they might as well be a wet towel. But goddamn, look at this little bugger. It's good, it works, and all it took to get here was a little bit of ethnic stereotyping. Oh boy. How's he gonna sound? Let's find out. Saying that though, I don't remember the last time I heard a Northern English accent this thick in a video game before. It's great.
Now try to save at least 3 out of 5 shots.
I'm not sure though. That guy looks a little sauce to me. Yeah, sauce. No, not sus, sauce. It's sausagey.
Get in goal and help your team win the match.
Get in goal and tell me wife to put a pie in it.
Sausage
And
link
don't get me
for
wrong,
arms,
I'm
as
not
Angry Joe
arguing that
puts
this
it.
is high art or super stimulating, but it is very fun, can't lie. And it's all worth it when in the baseball game, after multiple attempts of playing properly and not being able to hit a single home run, you give up and do this. Or when you get a knockout in the boxing game and your action replay catches the very moment when you're in too deep and you think you're actually protecting your family from a man in the house. There's an updated version of Kung Fu, a robot monkey puzzle game that's really fun, and then there's deeper mini games that have micro games within the main mini game, like the cooking one where you have to match up every order on the ticket correctly, but then if you run out of batches or make too many mistakes, you then have to go to micro games to create the missing ingredients as fast as possible before the day ends, all under the umbrella of a game called Mr. Chef. Oh, sorry, you caught me in the middle of eating a sandwich.
How much money does caddicarus have to buy some costumes? And again, why can't he just emulate some games? I mean, the PlayStation EyeToy, you cannot emulate, I'm pretty sure. Although I'm very curious. Will it be possible in the future to emulate Kinect games or PlayStation EyeToy games? Or is that just impossible at this point?
That's my name.
Mr. Chef.
Sandwich.
I challenge you to a cook-off.
Well, then let's go, Biff.
You have beaten me, but I wasn't even trying.
There's even a really fun secret agent game where you need to stay as still as possible when the searchlights are on you while solving puzzles under a time limit. Look at me go. I'm not the Burger King, I'm the Burglar King. EyeToy Play 2 is a good ride. Would do it again. Even that slightly jank building game where you can't hammer nails in straight and you've got to smash a wall in.
Sell their houses to who? Aquaman?
And with that, Jim exposes himself as not only a racist, but a plagiarist, which is worse. He stole that bit from vastly more successful and popular YouTuber, HBomberGuy. And this isn't a one-off mistake. It's a consistent pattern of behavior. Is there a car going past? Extending to Twitter, where he blatantly copied a viral tweet HBomb made word for word. And he thought he could get away with it, just because he made it before me. The cur. So I ask you, please, unsubscribe from Caddicarus. Think twice about everything you consume on YouTube. And Disney, move. Disney, move. Disney, move. Disney, move.
Maybe next time. For part 3.
Move! Go! Move out of the way, Disney! Move! It's a national speed limit!
You're the star. The actor is you. Fun, fun, fun everywhere, as seen on TV. Where? Oh. There. What do we have here then? 15 Disney characters, 6 Disney worlds, 3 levels of difficulty. Expect the unexpected explosions.
Michael Bay?
Obama? Immediately what sticks out to me about Disney Move is just how utterly barren and empty it is to the deep, rotting, dejected core. Every single millimeter of it, from the front of the box, to the loading screens, to the menus, to the music, to the minigame backgrounds, to the transitions of still images whenever they explain what's going on in tutorials, to the font, to the inane simplicity of the minigames, to the indecisiveness of this being a black pirate or a white pirate, is dull. It is so dull. It's drab, it's tired, it's dreary, it's monotonous, it's lame, it's dismal, and many other words that you can find in today's video sponsor, a thesaurus. I wish I had something more to say or more jokes to poke at it, but I just can't. Can you make a joke about the back of the box being mostly white space? Microsoft Word looking bitch. I'm mostly just shocked that this is from Disney and not IKEA. During the ghost catching minigame, the cameras you use in it managed to capture the essence of how I felt about the whole thing. For Christ's sake, in the Aladdin's carpet game, which simply doesn't work, I got munted by at least 7 melons and kept falling off the carpet, and yet I still won. What is this game?
Lilo and Stitch Music Band.
Lilo and Stitch Music Band? What other kind of band? Elastic band? I'd go as far as to call it a mess, but it doesn't even spread itself far enough to leave anything behind on the mattress. It's just a nothing game. An empty, nothing game. From Disney, of all people. I was expecting more from a game that was promising me that I could beat Donald Duck. Disney Move, with your Asda Smart Price box and your incorrect script.
Haunted Mansion.
I guess I shouldn't be shocked that this would end up being a boring game. But I'm not really a camera waving game, so what do I know?
That's not what the words say.
I say, move.
This is one of the worst games I've ever played. Not even kidding. Not because it's incompetent or anything, but because it's just so dull and inept. It's an exhausted sitting down of a game. It's an outward breath. And I can't believe with all the resources and money that...
I think this is how I feel about Resident Fear.
Disney have, they didn't do anything cool with it. However, though, I do have to be fair, I kind of like...
Unexpected explosion. Hey, you with the PlayStation 2. Who? Yes,
Me?
you. Yes, you. You think you bought a video game system to play a video game? Well, I mean...
No! You bought it to learn! EyeToy EduKit! You will be taught the number 4! Backwards! You will be taught octopus! You will be taught toenails! You will have material to have fun studying with!
Hail, falling for Kang Me.
Get rid of the bonus this game! Love cafe! Clam multiplication table! Mounting a mobile! Have trouble understanding numbers? Multiplication tables are difficult? Learn!
Oh my god, look at this. It's a 2005 Korean Christmas catalogue for the PS2. What a trip. Even though I can't understand what the writing says, I still feel nostalgic looking through this. And in fairness, even if the Katamari section was in English, it's still...
They don't make manuals that promote other games anymore. Or teach you how to play the game. Or give you the lore of the world. Also, way to be extreme at the upcoming next EyeToy game about learning.
Wouldn't make any sense. Oh man, look! They even have my favourite PlayStation 2 game, Racket Clank Tool Warrior College. PlayStation 2 game, Racket Clank Tool Warrior College. You know how they say AI is the future? This may be an educational game, but they've actually given us a story. And that is that one day, a young girl had leaves for hair, so she told her brother how great it was to have foliage coming out of your head, so he decided to push a clover out and then a book ate them. And so it's your job to complete a load of educational games within the book, like this math equations game that I am great at. It's not my fault. Numbers are different in Korean. You can also do some matching color games.
Wait, this is Korean?
Rhythm and pattern memory games, simultaneous weight and number matching games, learning the best time to take a pair of breets off the stove so they don't burn games, and games where you're navigating a maze with a monkey that uses your fetid old face to react to smacking into a rock and then relieving himself on top of a clam. I'm gonna complain about this actually. Where's customer services?
You've dialed an incorrect number. Please check the number and try again.
You're not Korean.
Okay, I forgot that foreign countries have an area code. I'm gonna add in the area code for Korea and try again.
It ended immediately.
Okay, how about the Korean dialing code but without the 0?
You've dialed an incorrect number.
Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time.
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and try your call again.
The new BTS single sounds great.
Are you still rolling?
Yeah.
Why did it give me 2 different responses?
There was the same number as the first one, right?
There's a conspiracy.
And that one was American.
America and Korea, one in the same. Does Korea even exist? Who's to say?
You know something? We really take mobile phones for granted. Back before the days of screens in your pocket being used to see someone else's live video instantly, and that using more data in 1 second than every computer combined to get 3 men on the moon 50 years ago. This is what people had to degrade themselves to do just to be able to see someone else not in the same house. EyeToy chat. The broadband communicator. Yeah, you call it broadband, but I remember it. You go on Google Images and search for a hot lady, and then after 25 seconds of waiting, you'd see her ankle. Sadly, all of the PS2's official online servers have shut. It wasn't even a clear picture. Have shut down, meaning that now this game is nothing more than an elaborate method of fixing a wobbly table in a restaurant. But you've got to respect the history, man. Look at this. You know it's going to be good when all the text is completely clear on the box, except for the 3 main bullet points. And hey, even if it doesn't.
I have never experienced the internet multiplayer with the PlayStation 2. I was too concerned with playing single-player games. I mean, I played multiplayer games, but it was by myself. And it was a slightly different experience.
Work anymore. At least these guys had a great time with it. To reiterate though, yeah, the software itself is totally worthless aside from just looking at options menus, testing a connection that doesn't exist, and writing your name into the system. Sunk. This is great! But enough about that. Next up, we've got EyeToy Tales, another one of the extremely rare Korean-only PS2 EyeToy games, and the most expensive game I ended up picking up for this video. So you know what that means? Yes, I'm afraid it's got to go.
Wow. You couldn't sound a bit more concerned, could you? Holy shit. Dude's got teeth right in the back of his jaw there. Whenever he closes his mouth, it eats itself. What's that from?
I'm sorry, Caddy. I hate this. I'm skipping ahead. I legit cannot laugh once or smile at this. I don't remember if I smiled or anything. I forgot what happened the last 5 minutes. Why is it watching ads is more exciting than this?
The end. Why am I playing this? This ain't no EyeToy Tales. Am I playing Doo-Doo Tales? Oh, I am. And much like the other Korean games, there's also a catalogue of upcoming PS2 games in here, like Ghost Spirit and the world-beloved Sly Cooper 2, Prayer Brothers Daijongji, which immediately follows after the first Sly Cooper, where you stole the world's joy.
Ooh. We are halfway through the complete library of EyeToy exclusive games for the PS2.
Oh my gosh, halfway?
Why don't we take a look at a game that was enhanced by the EyeToy?
Oh yes, much like with Kinect, EyeToy wasn't afraid to shove itself into gaps it couldn't fit in because it was compatible with a fair amount of random PS2 titles that usually meant it was only used for motion-controlled mini-games in a side menu, like with Harry Popoff and the Prisoner of Cockoff, and I would love to give that one a go, but to be completely honest, this video is long enough as it is, and after the last time a Harry Potter game told me to use a camera, I should never be allowed to do that again. Sometimes the camera was compatible even just for microphone use, but occasionally, only occasionally, it was used for something truly special, like, for instance, with This Is Football.
No, it isn't.
Why I chose to show off a lame, smelly football, though, instead of something more whimsical like Harry Potter, is because in the 2005 edition of TIFF specifically, the EyeToy allows you to add your face and literally any other face, which then can be used to make your own custom players within the game. The results were not as bad as I was expecting. This is impressive. Dude, you are looking fine. Don't look at me ever again. And I tried, oh god, I tried to make my own custom
Okay, now we're picking up.
Team featuring me, my childhood self, my dog, Michael Jackson, Gandhi, Mr. Beast, a bad police sketch, Jack 2, Geddy Lee, Prince Philip, and Mater. But after 45 minutes of trying, I'm sorry, I just could not make it recognize them. Look, I even managed to get away with this as a legitimate face with working eyes and a mouth, with the results looking like... And yet, despite that, no matter what I did, it did not recognize Michael Jackson as a real face, which is fair, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I guess we'll just have to stick with these two. They are Kadink and Kadonk, and they are too good for the England team, so I'm just gonna rename the England team to how it's supposed to be spelled. England, innit? Good afternoon all, and here we go. What a day to have a football match. The sun is out, the pitch is green, and it's the highly anticipated quarter-final game of the season. Wales versus England, innit? Our home team boys are revved up and raring to go after their recent successful string of games ever since the manager was recently fired and replaced with an owl. But he has made the very controversial decision to hire two up-and-coming unknowns, Kadink in centre midfield and Kadonk in goal. Kadink's technique is unlike any other footballer I've seen before, choosing to run after the ball, ignoring all sense, and then keeping it all to himself for as long as he can, just so he can score a goal all on his own and show his mum. Maybe one day she will finally let him make his own lunch. He's going for the goal, he's getting close, get it in, get it in, get it in. Oh, he muffed it! What kind of kick was that? He didn't even try. Now possession has moved over to Wales as they take a pass over to a shot, and what a save by Kadonk in goal. A very close shave indeed, and he let it in anyway. What a massive prick. No matter though, nothing phases the young upstart Kadonk, as right after missing his goal, he got straight back up and walked around in a little...
I gotta say, for a PlayStation 2 game in 2005, capturing the face and putting it on a character, that's pretty impressive for its time.
Circle, like a sim looking for the toilet. Back on the pitch, the ball is staying in possession with Wales for a long time, and that's clearly upset the other teammates of England in it because disaster on the grass! It's a degraster! The referee has whacked out his red card for an illegal tackle from Michael Owen, who just didn't like that Wales had the ball at all and decided to do a leaping judo kick into another player that didn't even have the ball. This will certainly go to a free kick, but the punishment for Owen will not be too harsh because the guy he kicked was indeed Welsh. A successful
free kick from Wales, but unbeknownst to everyone, Cadink was waiting uncomfortably close to the man the ball was aimed at, and with a flick of the wrist, the Welsh player is bowled over. And wait, could it be? Yes, it's a strike for the Welsh team, and possession is back with Cadink, who will continue to hog the ball until his next goal kick attempt, which wasn't even close. England in it are trailing behind on 1-0, so they need to step up. Their next strategy seems to be passing the ball back towards their end of the pitch, but it appears the losing team's patience is up because Cadonk has left the goal in an unprecedented move, likely inspired by his fellow player Cadink. Cadonk has decided the ball is now his and is refusing to pass it. He's going for a kick. He thinks he can land it in the net from here, but of course he can't. Why would he think he could? And he'll have to sprint as fast as he can back to the goal! Cadink has the ball yet again, and all anyone can wonder is how nobody else is getting the ball before he is. And as is tradition with all his other games prior to this one, he keeps hold of the ball until the half-time whistle, at which point he gives up and heads for Tesco's. With Cadink absent from the first few minutes of the second half, England in it seem to be getting their shit together and actually playing the game properly, until Wayne Rooney foolishly passes the ball back to who he thought was Beckham, but instead was Cadink, the dickless wonder. He had to leave his Tesco shop behind because he couldn't afford it without his club card, which he left in his other shorts. A dark day in the footballing world when a Premier League player can't afford a meal deal. Wales seem to be stepping up their game too, and within 2 minutes they have already tried for 3 goal shots, 2 of which were not intercepted by Cadonk. He didn't save them, he just tried to jump towards them, and the third shot not even being good enough for him, as he doesn't even try to stop the ball and takes a step back with his hands in the air like he just don't care. Cadonk famously does not like conflict, and the last thing a team losing 2-0 needs is a ball that is angry with the goalkeeper. Cadink once again back with the ball and appearing to perform the river dance with it, causing every player around him to just stop going near him. They can all respect the performing arts when circumstances permit. Sadly, that is it. The game is over. But in an unorthodox twist, the ref has decided that a red card means play another game right after the first. How extraordinary. And Cadonk can barely believe it. He has turned purple. He's not breathing. So the next game will have to be at least half the length. Straight away within the first 5 minutes of play, Wales have once again proven that they can kick the ball and are ahead by 1 point, which has majorly upset the manager of England in it. Owl. Between games, the England in it team seem to have muddled together a new strategy to try out now that it's nearly half time and they have nothing to lose. They will actually play football properly for ages and ages until everyone is exhausted from running around, and then by that time Cadink can take the ball and basically walk it into the net. It's a risky move, but it's worth a shot. Is he gonna do it? Could it be now? Are the odds in favour for the underdog? He's going for it. He shoots and it's in! He finally did it after 2.5 hours of football. That was a ball that went into, yes, you guessed it, a net. Look at the elation on his face. He is about to take off to Spain, and oh, he's working the crowd and giving them the dink. He knows they all want it, and he has 18 dinks. A promising career is ahead for Cadink based on that performance just then and nothing else he's ever done. If England in it can keep up, then maybe they'll finally be able to afford some more wig glue for Cadonk that doesn't peel off his head. So ultimately, even though I did miss out on seeing His Royal Highness kicking it around one last time on the PS2 with his incompatible zombie face, this is one of the best ideas ever, and you all need to get a PS2 and EyeToy camera and This Is Football 2005 and do it.
Hi everyone, it's me, caddicarus, and I'm the angriest gamer on YouTube. Ooh, Sonic 06 makes me mad!
But nobody will subscribe to me, I don't know what. Okay, tangent over. I could go on about all of the EyeToy enhanced games for the rest of this video, but we would be here all year. We need to get back on focus and stick on the EyeToy exclusives. So, with that being said,
what's in this box?
This game is... I'm not gonna say it. It's another Japanese exclusive, and you can tell it is... I'm not gonna...
Cam station?
Say it. It's another Japanese exclusive, and you can tell it's Japanese because it's written in Japanese. I'm pretty sure it's called Cam Station, and I would whip out my Google to see what it thinks, but... no amount of words could help me understand what it is I'm looking at. Now, this is a bit exciting. CamStation comes with everything you need for it in its own special box. Look, you get the game, you get the camera, you get a headset, you get a controller, you get a PS2, you get an electric screwdriver, you get another boxed copy of CamStation, and then in that box you get a controller, you get a PS2, you get a PS2, you get a PS2, and you get corn everywhere! But then, there's something sad.
How many PlayStation 2s did he own? I only have 1 or 2 of them. Well, okay, I have 2 of them, but that was because I thought the other one didn't work. Because we were stupid.
The headset that came with this game is indeed from 2005, and maybe I just don't know much about headset anatomy, but I didn't realize that when they got to 19 years old, their skin starts coming off and they start melting. I don't know what's going on. Is it growing out of a cocoon? And if it couldn't get any worse, for something even more sad, I was expecting to at least get to some menus in the game so I could look at more screaming golf balls and dogs that have been held hostage, but sadly, I couldn't even get past these 2 screens. All they did was play text pong with each other, back and forth until the heat death of all that you love. But why can't we go any further? What exactly are these tomes trying to tell us? I can't read Japanese. If only I could get a real Japanese person in the room with me right now to help. Oh my god! I can't believe how lucky I am. Look everybody, it's the world famous singer-songwriter Japanese woman Yoko Ono. Hello, I'm Yoko Ono. I miss John Lennon. We all do. Say, how's the music going? Oh, you know, loud. What? That sounds great. Can you give us a little taste? No. So according to her, basically what these screens are is saying that we can't physically go any further with this game until we have a PS2 BB unit attached. No, not that one, a broadband unit, which I don't have. Bye. So instead, let's move on to something a lot nicer to look at. A game with 2 names in one, Yeti Sports, or a punchline to a joke from 1406. What did the man in the cellar say to the other man who came down his cellar and asked him if those bottles there were ports? Yee, 'tis ports. Now listen, I know it's really hard to ignore the horrible, awful British man in the middle, but don't worry, I figured out the intent behind everything on this cover. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Is this game a shitpost? I'm actually convinced it is. Not just from the cover or the title, but the back as well. The first screenshot is of a minigame with 0 points and 0 time on the counter before it even began. The third screenshot is of a nightmare during the peak of a fever. And the second screenshot is of a HD man with a look of abject terror on his face as his middle finger got cut off while playing Yeti volleyball. Don't worry, man. You won't need a finger for every game. I'm sure you can play another one of the other 6 party games. Please sit back for a moment and observe my live reactions to the game first booting up and playing the menu music at me. Did I die? Now I feel as though we are seriously scraping with this one, if it wasn't clear enough already. Not only do you have more and more of the exact same bull as we've already seen before, with hitting things back coming towards you, playing baseball and moving around with your arms extended, RIP Big J, but it also goes out of its way to not go out of its way, and the lag across the whole thing makes playing every minigame completely impossible. Just look at the state of baseball. In the first attempt, I didn't hit the penguin at all when I absolutely should have done. But look what happens even when I do manage to hit the penguin. Playing Yeti Sports is like calling someone down for dinner and then they don't appear for a minute and a half. You make a move and then just nothing happens until the game solves a quadratic equation before doing the move. I can't give you anything else, Yeti Sports. I know you need more, but I can't provide it. I'm stretched too thin. I have bills. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, the camera looks like phlegm on toast, but it doesn't. I focused it through the game's own focus menu. Yeti Sports just does this to the camera. The game itself makes the camera uglier. Was the idea to make me look as fuzzy as the body outline here? Because it is working. I look like the missing link. Look at my teeth. Why are they that color? It looks like I'm eating a mango. What have you got to say for yourself, Yeti Sports? Now, here's a question. What do these two have in common?
They don't work?
That's right. They're video games, just like this one. With special thanks to Nike Motion Works, here we have EyeToy Connect. Oh, wait, sorry, that's another thing. Apologies for the confusion. This mistake will not be made again. This is a game for keeping fit, and it's gonna read your body movements to help you get your exercise in. I remember the last time a game told me it would do that. Yeah, I disappeared. Mel, where have I gone? Don't worry though, it's gonna cover all the main areas. Cardio, combat, toning, minge body. The game even comes packaged with a new fancy wide-angle lens to stick on your current camera so that it can see your whole body. I've got to hand it to this game so far. For PS2, it looks really good. I've played Xbox 360 games that look as good as this. It's just a shame that it's all for a game about exercise. It's okay though, I'm ready. My name is Fit Buff. I'm 8'1", I'm 96, and I weigh 2 pounds. Now hold it. Yeah. Now, I wish I could have some fun with this in the same vein as Get Fit with Mel, but since the EyeToy camera itself isn't quite as advanced as Kinect, it's a little limited with interacting with the world around you. It's okay though. Whatever the game has in store for me, I'm ready. I like to keep fit in my own time. Because you see, when you... Not to mention, this game isn't designed for fun. It's designed to be a real side companion to your personal fitness journey. And I couldn't find any way to play these mini-games without actually committing to a weekly regime that only changes the activities based on the internal clock as it cycles through each day of the week. You've heard about EyeToy? Well, now get ready for SpyToy, where you can be the ultimate agent. And there is a lot to take in, but if you look at the back of the box, that's where you'll discover the game was developed by an Epson printer. Now this is something I'll have no problem getting into. Spy stuff is my jam. You know, I'm actually a spy in my spare time as well. Hey, gads! There I am! Where did he go? You know the most interesting part of SpyToy right out of the box? That it comes pre-packaged with a security system. You think I'm kidding? For starters, you can actually set your face as a password to get into the main game, which is sick. And spoiler alert, it does work when you start the main game later. Apple Face ID, too unreliable. I've got a new phone now, don't need you, and in a few years there'll be an update where you can text. Then on top of that, if you decide to stop playing the main game at any point, you can set up the camera to detect motion in specific places around the room, and the game will then snap pictures of whatever it catches. You can turn off your TV, pretend the console is off, and then take pictures of people without their consent. This is a game for kids. I suppose the idea is that it's supposed to capture your little brother or sister stealing your Pokemon cards, but my guess is that it mostly ended up catching mums picking up dirty pants all around the bedroom. Thing is though, if you turn your TV off, then you miss out on the custom alerts that you can make when it does catch something. That'll teach you. There's also this strange background removal tool which has nothing to do with spies or toys. Why is this a part of the game? So, funny story on my way here to... night.
If you ever wanted to take the luxurious holiday of your dreams without your wallet having a nightmare, well, here at Feces Airlines, we pride ourselves on the best holiday packages at the best possible prices, with discount rates to New York to see the taxis, Australia to see the Sydney Opera House, and Germany to see the German building. These destinations and at least 2 others are available on our website, Feces Airlines. Holidays that'll leave a mark. Onto the main game we go, and whenever I tried to type in my name, for some reason all of the Russian hackers got in and kept picking letters that I just actually wasn't picking. Look, I'm not doing anything. Why is it picking H over and over again? I can't be asked to fight this. I'm just gonna be...
It's genius, really. Because, like, if you're ever captured or interrogated and they keep asking your name, you'll be going... and they'll just think you're running out of air when actually you are telling them your name. So they don't realise that they're getting the info they want. Wait, but then that means that they think that... Hang on, wait. Because if they think that that's your name, when you're actually running out of air, then
get to
they're
the
gonna
game,
keep doing it
please.
until you do run out of... I didn't think about this, did I?
Once the main game
No, you
itself
didn't.
starts, it's basically just a load of one-off missions involving you trying to capture man-geese that involve playing the same kinds of mini-games but at slightly harder difficulties for each goose that you catch. Speaking of, when he was a baby, what happened? Did his uncle sit on his head? Why does he look like this?
You've decrypted these images of a French scientist.
Oh, that explains it. So this means 1 second you'll be decoding symbols with a weird shape you'll need to work out how to turn. Then you'll be skydiving from a plane to land safely on headquarters. Then you'll be defusing a bomb by timing these weird injection things into a shaky shape. Is it wrong to say I actually like this? Because I do. It's kind of fun. I'm actually enjoying this and I want to keep going. It works really well and has a great style to it, but god damn, I just can't keep looking at these crims. They're too off-putting for me. They really freak me out. These eggs with receding hairlines.
However, I saved the best for last, because there's a mode in this game that allows you to use all 240p's of the camera.
Yeah, it turns out all this time we weren't even using the full potential of the EyeToy. This is how it looks raw and uncut. And it looks a bit better than I thought it would. The frame rate tanks, but it doesn't matter. You can even use the controller to zoom really far into wherever you point the cursor at. I saved this on my memory card. And one day, many years in the future, long after I'm gone, somebody will find it. And then, you'll have to run.
Being a spy is stressful. So I'm gonna have more baby playtime with
I'll save that for part 4. Okay, next part. Home stretch. I'm getting close. I can do this. I think I can manage to finish the entire part.
Oh my god, what's that? Includes mega bonus disc? Shitting yes, what's on it? Yes. I can play them again. In smaller, bite-sized versions.
This is also the 7th game in this video so far made by London Studio, PlayStation's London development team, and where most of the EyeToy library was made. You know, now that I think about it, this camera was initially released for Europe only to see how it performed, hence the London development team, which is probably why most people I meet don't know what the hell this thing is whenever I bring it up. In fact, looking into it, out of all 28 games made for the EyeToy, only 8 of them came out in America. This is all starting to make sense now. I was wondering why everyone I met who hadn't heard of EyeToy was holding a Twinkie and an AR-15. What can I say about EyeToy Play 3 that I haven't...
America, baby! Not America, America!
...about EyeToy Play 2 that I haven't said about EyeToy Play 1. Easy. It has a face-swapping mode. Me and my fiancé will never have a child. Here's a side...
1 minute in or 2 minutes in and already an ad?
...about standing still. Oh look, vermin. What Play 3 does do to avoid feeling like the same game again, though, is pretty smart. It gives your living room legs. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And it also gives you less actual themes of game to choose from, but then potatoes up the meat by splitting those themed games up into multiple mini games. So like instead of getting bored just playing drums for a game on its own, or just playing guitar, or just playing trombone, now you're thrown back and forth between all of them at the same time in one game, so that you can finally be Jim and the Gyms, which then also gets further split up with a bodyguarding minigame against rabid fans rushing the stage. And let's just say, my band attracts a type. The same applies to all of the games on Play 3, including the hair salon one featuring nail chewing, sports games featuring a very unfortunate pose.
No!
The Army Cadet game featuring the most rigorous of training regimes, such as copying what your friend is doing.
Seems more like monkey see, monkey do.
And even to the extent of the conducting game, featuring me in 20 years. You did great, by the way. Take a bow in the outline. You do have to be careful when playing the Army game. Take a bow in the outline.
I think this is the origin of the dab meme. Guys, we found the origin of the dab meme! We found it! PlayStation EyeToy is responsible for this meme!
You do have to be careful when playing the Army game, though, because if someone walks by your window in the afternoon, then it looks a little bit like... I think I prefer Play 2 across the Play trilogy, but this isn't a bad casual game at all, and probably the best made Play game for the minigames centered around one player. And before you all start laughing at me for how I look in the DJ game, think twice about that, because that is bullying. We can't help how we look. I legit had more fun with the bowling game here than I did with Wii Bowling, even if I did have to look at this guy's sweaty card reader. Yes, it's more of the same. Yes, I'm getting...
I'm sorry, we're seeing an actual butt crack. Then again, stupid kids media seems to show a hint of a butt for whatever the freaking reason. It somehow never gets a PG-13 rating. Just like the Justice League Unlimited, where Huntress literally puts a disc or something in her vagina on screen. And somehow they get away with it. I guess it's just attached to the belt, but nope. It's pretty much attached. We know what's going on.
Sick of looking at myself. Yes, I still hate this little bastard's voice.
Wait.
But so what? I still had fun with it, and it works well. I don't have anything else to say. It's EyeToy play again, but this happens sometimes. So right now, I'm going to transition over to the next game while the music I made on the EyeToy theremin plays in the background. Now here we have a total anomaly. It's a Japanese-developed, motion camera-based, PS2-only rhythm game by Namco that's European exclusive. I know it just sounds like I've made all of that up, but I promise you, I didn't. This is Rhythmic Star, and the more I look at it and the more I think about it, the less sense it begins to make. I just can't make heads or tails of it. None of this adds up. It doesn't even have a wiki page. Does this game exist? My favorite thing about the box is how the final bullet point lists some of the special costume items you can win, like vampire teeth, big ears, and even funky dreads. Why did they write it like that? Are dreadlocks more unbelievable than vampire teeth? Okay, time to line my body up with the camera. Yep, this looks fine. Now, maybe it's because this game was made by Namco. Maybe it's because it's a rhythm game, which are already really fun on EyeToy to begin with and work properly. Whatever the reason, I had really high expectations for this game. It just looked really cool. I thought it was going to be a new PS2 hidden gem for me. However, it wasn't. Here is my handle. Here is my spout. I'm at least happy to report that Rhythmic Star does work and it has a decent soundtrack of licensed music, even if they are covers. But that's where my happiness peaks. This is probably the worst rhythm game I've ever played in my life because I swear to God it makes no sense. I tried to understand it. I played this for a good 30 to 45 minutes, but look at my face. This is not a man having a nice PlayStation. The idea is that you hit the stars as the symbols reach them in time with the music. Really pushing the boat out there, but the thing is, every other EyeToy rhythm game like this has notes appearing from the middle so that your hands can work with your brain in HR and move your body towards where they're heading in time with the music. It's easy to see what the dual notes are, the alternating notes, the long notes, and your brain can fill the gaps in on when the timing of the next few notes may appear to get you into the swing of everything. But with Rhythmic Star, I can't even make out when the beats are across the symbols. Not just because it's very unclear, but because each colored note heads towards their stars at completely different speeds. and 50% of the notes aren't in rhythm with the beat itself, because at random points you're hitting notes in time with the drum beat, then you're timing notes around the vocal line, then you're following the guitar solo at the same time as the backing vocal shouts from the crowd, then you're following the drum beat on the first and third beat, and then suddenly swapping to the second and fourth off beat with no indication, and you're figuring all of this out while following two totally different lines of beats on your left and right arm, with all these notes going to different stars at totally different speeds. I don't know what the idea was supposed to be, and I wish I could play you a part of the game with the music so you could see what I'm trying to say, but I can't because of copyright, which should really be called copy wrong. After 25 minutes or so, I did eventually manage to get some kind of hang of it. I wanted to figure out how it worked, but it still wasn't fun. I have to ignore the flow of the music and just concentrate hard on where the hell these Christmas tree toppers are going, and if the slow yellow ones are in the center yet or are just hanging outside the hot tub with their feet in it. So to summarize, Namco made this in Japan and then left it in Europe. Nowhere else. We must have given them a bad trade deal. Fill me up, butter boy, fill me up, don't fill my cup. Here is a star with a monobrow. What would you do if I told you that Phoenix Games, the people who made this, and this, and this, made an EyeToy game? And with that new information, what would you then do if I told you that the name of that game is more unbelievable than the fact it even exists in the first place? Clumsy Shumsy for the EyeToy is probably as obscure as my collection could possibly get. A European-only, EyeToy-only PS2 motion game made by the same people who made Finkel's World. The screenshots on the back don't even have people in them. The only thing EyeToy does is show people on your screen, and yet Clumsy Shumsy on EyeToy has no screenshots of people on screen.
This might be a bad sign.
Okay, so we just literally booted up Clumsy Shumsy on PS2.
It's not going to be good, is it?
They've given me warning text that is invisible because of my walls. I don't know. Let's continue and hope for the best. Yes.
Clumsy Shumsy. Clumsy Shumsy is a collection of 8 minigames, all of which begin without explaining anything you're supposed to do or why you should care.
Player 1, get ready to do something. We're not going to tell you what.
All the while, it expects you and your children, no less, to fit in this outline.
Who's built like this? I need to get like what?
And by the way, you get to look at this in every single loading screen. Who the hell is this runt? And why did they add extra graphic and shading detail to his roll pouch? Take, for instance, the quintessential game of this collection, Lost Shumsies, a game where no Shumsies are lost, you don't need to find them, you blow them all up instead, and then you realize this is a 2-player only game, despite me already telling the game I'm 1 player on my own, because look at this packet of crisps. Nobody's gonna come over to see me.
Clumsy options, Shumsy credits.
And what are the mini games, pray tell? Exactly what you'd expect.
Hey kids, have you ever wanted to play Simon Says with air on your PlayStation 2? Well, we've got the game for you. It's called Clumsy Shumsy, and it stars your aunt after she got hit by a big old grape.
I will give Clumsy Shumsy this, though. A few of the games work. So overall, Clumsy Shumsy is exactly the kind of game you'd expect from the same company that came up with the idea for a game called
Get ready to burn in hell. Yep, I'm way ahead of you, buddy. I would rather do that right now. What did you say? Are you saying Clumsy Shumsy shave your bum hair? What did you say?
Aw, how cute. EyeToy. You think you're so great, don't you? Yeah? Well, I've got an EyeToy. It's really fun for your eye. Let me show you how it works.
Matt, come back here. It's okay. Matt, I just need to talk to you. It gets to your eye. Up is not jump, more like eye is not toy.
Oh boy, we're back in the EyeToy Kinetic cinematic universe. Get ready, mates. It's EyeToy Kinetic Combat. The Spanish version of this game is very special because it isn't just combat, it's total combat, which makes me mad that we got an incomplete combat. And while I'm on one, Spain...
Hang on, I gotta see that again.
Got an EyeToy.
Just need to talk to you. It gets to your eye. Up is not jump, more like eye is not toy.
Oh.
You know, he's got that big chair. All he has to do is just both use it as a shield and to knock the weapon away.
And the other way. Fun fact, I don't own any promotional press copies of games. They're usually a bit... Yeah, but there is one that I do own now, and it's for EyeToy Kinetic Combat, of all things. And when filming this bit, I hadn't opened it yet, so I was super excited.
You know, the modern games, they tend to have a lot of really cool shit in them, along with the game, obviously. So, yeah, you've got the game, and then you've got the lens adapter, I think that is. Yep, that's that there. But yeah, modern games tend to have a lot of stuff in with the promo so that they can share good social media shit, and retro games like this one don't have anything else in them other than the disc. But that's it. I like my life as a carpenter. There's nothing I'd rather be. I've had my tools so many long years, they're all good friends to me.
Okay, everyone, time to set your wide-angled Ring doorbell up on top of the TV. Just make sure you've got enough space in whatever house you live in to see every single part of your body with no other objects around you. You know, like this lady, who lives in a house that we can all relate to. This is the everyman of houses. And if you don't have a house perfectly tailored to the fitness program, then you're just a pleb who probably looks like this. You want to hear the saddest part, though? This is exactly the same game as EyeToy Kinetic, and I will not have any slag tell me otherwise. The only difference here is that you've got more ways to play all the different fitness games because you aren't committed to a weekly schedule, but it's still the same kind of idea, just with more murdering endangered panthers. The biggest issue, though, is that it really does require that you play the game not from your house, but from an empty jet plane hangar, because there is no reliable way to punch and kick in a regular-sized space. Oh yes, we're kicking on EyeToy now, and it only took 22 games to get here. They want you to be proper and accurate to the teachings, but how are you supposed to do that when the best camera position you can get can't reach your feet and makes your target 1/3 of the size of you? You're so tall, they don't measure you in feet, they measure you in legs. And when it works, it is impressive how accurate it is, granted, but when you're screamed at to punch, kick, and avoid attacks by moving as quickly as you can, it's just not feasible in a British house. It became easier for me to stop listening to the angry trainer and just stay hunched over. Hey, it worked, and I don't see you making it work, so who's the laughing stock now, hey?
Psst, over here. Do you want to buy a wife?
What's next? I'm ready now.
I guess it was only inevitable, but I'm surprised it happened so late anyway. Here is EyeToy Plays Sports. And at very first, I thought I was in for a grey day, because in the one-player menu, I could see only 2 games to play. Very clever, EyeToy Plays Sports. 1 game less, and you would have to call yourself EyeToy Plays Sport. Luckily, though, my fears were put to rest as soon as I booted up this golf game and realised that you have to win mini-games to win golf. And then my fears came flooding back once I saw what they did to my lovely face. So yeah, what you actually do in this one-player golf game is choose whether or not you want a hard mini-game for a longer shot or an easy mini-game for a weaker shot. Risk versus reward. And I say mini-game, but honestly, this is more micro games. It's EyeToy WarioWare. There's no time to rest. The games change up every few seconds and they barely last 10 to 30 seconds on their own before you make your next move. So take aim, jump up, and bowl over. Catch the baseball, serve the tennis ball, save the goals, bounce the ball, break the sticks, avoid the sticks, string the racket, hang the gliding, spot the correct horse that won the race, do the math. Alright, no time to stop here, so get off your pudgy ass and move it. Come on, let's go. That McDonald's isn't gonna shift itself. You've gotta go, go, go. Oh, don't go in there. If you want variety,
There's seriously nobody inside the McDonald's? That's one hell of a rare event.
EyeToy game to go for. It's everything that made the other in-house developed EyeToy games fun and
working, but now with much more to do and in much more manageable bites. Can we just take another second to notice how surprisingly well this thing works despite being 20 years old? I'm sorry, I don't want to say that I was right, but I was right. This thing is better than Kinect so far. It works better and the games are more fun. Yeah, I'll die on this hill. The only things that make it worse are when people don't know how to make a game. It's not the camera's fault. After all these years of neglect and fading from memory, the EyeToy is legit really good for the time and is still pretty fun now. There's nothing it can do at this point to make me not. Bob the Builder was released on the EyeToy in 2007 alongside BioShock and Halo 3. Are we ready, everybody?
Wait.
Bob the Building. He's a building. Bob the Building. Oh no! This.
Hang on. I think I played this. No, I played this game. There's only one Bob the Builder game I've played. I completely forgotten about Bob the Builder.
Game was made by Blast, who, if you know your PS2, should be a very familiar name to you for their vast library of games that 99% of which are the worst reviewed on the entire console. And now they've got hold of your kids. And you wouldn't think that the game would need much of an explanation, but Blast Entertainment certainly disagree, because here you have a manual thick enough to explain the basics of Magic the Gathering, just in case you need to learn the best hand possible for laying plywood and bricks. What is the necessity for this? This isn't D&D, it's B&B. Building and Bobs. Right, so we've got splash animations, we've got Blast, we've got Hit Entertainment, and we've got the Bob the Builder logo, and we've got... Dark days have fallen on the Bob household. Warning, Bob the Builder uses an autosave feature. Is that what's written on his...
There's a Bob the Builder game I've played, but I have obviously never played EyeToy. Was this game American released? The only thing I remember playing Bob the Builder is decorating a cake with icing, and I pretty much used all different type of icing flavors to fill an entire cake until I finally reached back to white. That's it. That's the only memory I've ever had. The rest is just, I cannot remember.
Contracts before he gets a job, but just be careful, everybody. Bob uses an autosave feature.
Just in case it wasn't clear, this game is for young children, and because of that, I have to do one of two things: cut my legs off, or point the camera at the ceiling to pretend that I am one. Okay, sorted. So what now? Should we hang out with T-Pose the Scarecrow? Should we wake up Bob before he runs down a deer? Or should we begin the game, where the story is all about that one time Bob had a seizure on the building site? At the absolute least, though, it is good to know that you can use all of the training you learned during the game to trade in your high scores for a real-life construction diploma. Let's begin the story mode then, and the story is that we are a builder and we're building a house. So naturally, the first mission is to catch fish.
I've promised her that we'll catch it.
Yeah, alright, yeah, I'll wave over the fish to
This is a pretty unfair place to begin, if you ask me. What kind of back-end stab alley school did we come out of that the first thing they expect builders to do is angling? Welcome everyone to day one of training on how to be a doctor, and the very first thing I want you to do is a backside 180 tray flip off this man's head. Make sure you don't grab the trash though. That's not a fish, that's a boot, and it goes back in the water where it belongs.
It's not sexy boot either.
After all of that, you then get a cutscene going off into the next mission, showing off Bob and his wife's reptile telepathy.
Great! I love sports.
But he needs to know if you can start right away.
Don't worry. I'll go back now and speak to him. The others can follow along.
So yeah, if it wasn't obvious, the next logical step of a builder's life after fishing at 6 AM is then quad biking through the countryside and driving into fallen trees.
Okay, that one hurt a bit.
Oh, did it, baby?
This game is exactly the same as that SpongeBob driving one from ages ago, but the thing driving moves slower.
Shit me out!
Shit me out!
Which then makes the game harder and
Shit me
slower.
out.
So, screw me, right?
We made it! Sunflower Valley rocks!
Who decided that should be the voice of a quad bike?
Another cutscene plays here, and this is where I decided off camera to expose my fiancée to the eldritch horrors of the modern CG Bob the Builder remake.
So have you seen the CG one?
No.
Oh
actually,
my,
no.
look it up on your phone.
I don't know if I want to.
Oh, I want you to. Remember I told you to look up what a Sibian was? Well, now I'm telling you to look up CG Bob the Builder. It's just as bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right?
Why is he all like normal sized?
Yeah, he's a regularly proportioned man. He's
Oh.
gone from Bob the Builder to Bob a Builder.
The next minigame is washing
Oh
cars.
dear. Is that real? 2015. No. No. IMDb rated it a 2.4. Poorly animated and designed CG show, huh? I mean, seriously, I don't remember Bob the Builder. I do not think it was bad. It was just nothing stunning, but I do remember that the designs are simplistic and fun. It's about as simplistic as a kid show needs to be to at least be passable. This CG show that came out in 2015, it looks pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's bad.
Important building work.
This is how most of our jobs start off.
Most of your jobs start off apparently by doing some fishing and quad biking. What are you talking about? We're on like level 6. When are we going to do some actual construction work? Like he's doing and loving it. Loving life. My name's Bob. I love my job.
The next step in the building process is then not building, as all of the farm vehicles have decided to steal everyone else's supplies, and it's our job to sort it all out and swap around planks of wood and cement.
Sorry, everyone. Yeah, you should be. Bastard.
You know, what's the point of your kids wasting their time doing all of this when you can just send them outside and have them do it for real? By the way, why the hell is Bob the man who the game is named after? I saw him one time ages ago, and it was when he was quad biking away from everybody. I think he realized that was more fun than bricklaying. Is the story mode a psychological exploration of Bob's midlife crisis? Sadly, there's no time to think about that though, because we finally, after all this time, get to do some building. By scaring crows out of a field. By the way, he says he just needs help because he can't do this alone, but then the whole time you're doing this, he doesn't do piss.
Why aren't you doing anything?
Spud's on the job.
Tell your friends Spud's in the market for another job. He has qualifications. And so now, after all this nosing around, we can finally... We're doing building, people! We're doing building! Yeah, let's go!
It's time to put some steel girders down. Yeah, and that's not all. The most exciting bit is yet to come.
The next stage is laying the bricks for the walls.
Yeah!
But I've spent the first year of my construction university course being wicked on a bike and fishing. How do I lay the bricks? I checked thoroughly through Bob the Bible and I couldn't figure it out.
Here's Wendy and Scoop to show you how it's done. See?
Oh, that's how you do it.
This is one of my favourite jobs, and also one of the most important. Without floors, we'd all be standing around in the cellar.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Putting the floor down is very important, because if you don't have a floor, then you'd fall in through the floor.
Good job.
Good jobby. What a fine jobby that was. Bob the jobby. Can he lift it? Bob the jobby. He's got a bag.
The building is over now. It's time to clean up and get out of there before the feds arrive. So make sure you're quick and follow the imitation cut-out cardboard Bob as he drops all the rubbish out the windows.
I'll move in that direction. Make sure I'm directed.
Please do it quickly. I don't have long. Bob! Why did you give me sentience, Bob? Why couldn't you drive the bloody digger? Why did I get a brain, Bob?
It was also a minigame that I had an epiphany on the lore of Bob the Builder.
What I've noticed, honey, just now.
Yeah.
Bob the Builder's theme tune, right? It's Bob the Builder, can we fix it, right? They never ask, can they build it? And I know that sounds like a bit of a nitpicky thing to say, But if all they do is fix stuff, does that mean that they build it poorly and they have to fix it, all the shit that they end up building? Who was the builder before Bob?
And with that, the story mode is complete. So what was the story? We did a day's work and 20% of it was building. That was the story. But like all great stories, there's a sequel. And so we move on to Bob the Builder 2, Potholes. Yes, we're not quite done yet because Blast wants us to fill in more than 10 potholes of the village roads in less than a minute before we leave the game and never come back. And I know that sounds excessive, but I lived in a village for 11 years and this is the most accurate depiction of real British life I've ever seen in a video game, including the cement mixer with eyes.
Once I filled the pothole in, they'll never find a body.
I think we'd better try again.
Why? We got 3 stars, you bitch.
And that's...
I am reminded of South Park, The Great Dawn, where an episode where old people driving gets people killed. The first thing we see is an old man obviously killing a few people, but in the end, he's like, I think I hit a pothole. And no joke, when my dad drives or when my mom drives, whenever we see an old person, I ended up doing this voice. I tried to replicate it as much as I could. Damn it, this isn't the fastest way to country kitchen buffet.
No, but it's the shortest and the most Catholic way.
Oh, my mom and dad, they have a good laugh. It was just good laughs whenever I imitate an old man or woman. Whenever we actually see a senior person driving, or when they're driving horribly. Sometimes when they do drive horribly, I was like, hang on, get right beside him. I want to confirm something. And either it's a foolish young man who's just begun driving or an actual old man. And when my suspicions are confirmed that it's an old man, I just end up making a joke. And there's several ways to do it.
Is this the parking lot?
I think so. Oh. It's not going to be so funny anymore once that time has come. It'll be funny for now, but it will not be funny in the future. I didn't mean to get so dark, but seriously, regardless of the pains and the frustrations you have with your loved ones, just learn to appreciate them as much as you can because they will never come back once their time is up. Unless they get reincarnated or something. I think we should move on before it gets any more depressing.
The whole game is finished. In 19 minutes. And what's your reward for all of that hard work and cup of soup lunches in the van while reading The Sun?
Sing along now, as loudly as possible.
Ironically, he tells me to sing along as loud as possible, and then they play the theme song, which is then like 10 decibels quieter than the rest of the game, and I can't hear it.
It's also worth mentioning that the theme song is the only background music of every minigame in the story, just at different speeds. And the full vocal theme you get as a reward at the very end of the game is the same full vocal theme you get at the very beginning of the game on the main menu. Unexpected item in bagging area. As a quick aside for a second, do you want to see how little the demand for EyeToy was by the time this lad came along? I got this game, brand new, sealed, for £3.99. And that was not the only one. Monkey Mania, Anti-Grav, Spy Toy, Clumsy Shumsy, Kinetic Combat, and now this were all sealed with the original PS2 plastic and were mostly all dirt cheap. The thought that there is just a warehouse somewhere filled with unsold sealed copies of Bob the Builder on EyeToy is enough to keep me awake at night, but I'd rather think about that than hear that theme song again. Build the Bobder. He's not built yet. Build the Bob.
So these old games are very cheap. I don't know what to feel about that. I mean, on one hand, it kind of makes sense that it's dirt cheap because these games have little to no value except for your kid. But even then, I still have a PlayStation 2, and I am not gonna order any more PlayStation 2 games anytime soon. If I was to play a PlayStation 2 game I couldn't get, I could always just download an emulator and download games online. And even then, are kids of this day and age going to care about any of this? Those games are going to be pretty much forgotten. It's sad, but it's true. The only reason the kids would care is if, well, let's just say I decide to buy a PlayStation 5 for my baby brothers. One of my baby brothers. And he has a somewhat good time with the modern age of video games. But because he's still a kid, I could just download the old PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games because surprisingly the PlayStation Network is still selling these games. Which I'm very glad about, don't get me wrong. So I could just download them and if I'm lucky, my baby brother would have a good time playing Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, but mostly Jak and Daxter because I love Jak and Daxter. And Ratchet and Clank has lower and decreasing quality over the years, has become the very thing it satirized. And I don't even have to give my PlayStation 2 to my little kid, my baby brother. Because quite frankly, you can buy the old games. Good famous PlayStation 2 games. I wouldn't have to give my PlayStation 2 console. It's been a year or two since I used the PlayStation 2 console.
What are we doing?
Okay then, we're coming up to the last handful of games made for the EyeToy now, and man, I wish I could say that it didn't feel like it. Thomas the Tankin Dankin. But be warned, don't you think about selling it separately now. They're watching you.
Personally, I can't wait, because the back of the box is telling me the main goal of the game is to get safely home to a shed. So sign me up.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Roger me, Thomas.
Hey, you know what kids like? Ice cream, Happy Meals, The Wiggles, eating stones, and videos with no background music of a train with a face.
Thomas had never won a prize before, but he was determined for that to change.
I hated watching Thomas the Tank as a kid.
This is a very lonely game.
Alright, fair enough, so I gotta put myself in this outline so that...
Seriously, I hated watching that show as a kid. Because there is just nothing. It's just talking, live action footage, and... well, not talking, but so much as narration that I cannot for the life of me understand or hear. And for some reason, it's just the trains always having one set of facial expressions in one shot and then have a different set of expressions at another shot. With only their eyes moving and they never say a word. Thomas the Tank is boring! I want to watch SpongeBob again! How is Thomas the Tank? Just go watch SpongeBob instead. Like me.
The game can see nothing but my forehead.
Why is the fat controller not shaded? Well, he's not shaded. Look, he's like a 3D model shape.
And shortly after losing your mind over Roblox Fat Controller, you get your first task of this train racing game.
The edges' faces are all mixed up. Can you put the right faces on? Sorry, everyone, said the fat controller. I tore off Thomas's face. And then I lost it. Can you help us, giant baby? Hiding behind the shed.
And just when you think it couldn't get any weirder...
Right, which face?
But don't worry, if you can't remember beat for beat which coloured steam train because you have a mortgage, it doesn't matter, because the game just tells you what phase to choose. You win.
The story is that we're a train, we left the shed, and then our face fell off.
Next up, we've got to paint all of the engines because some unforeseen force ripped their skin off from 5 minutes ago. It's a paint game. You paint. Go nuts, Da Vinci.
They're 6, they're 8. Shouting violence, lots of hate. Red and green and brown and blue. They don't care, they're after you.
Okay then, so the next thing we got to do in this racing game is go and get a load of coal.
Can you help load up Thomas with enough coal for the... Wave your hand over the pulley.
Can you help load up Thomas?
Ah, well, at least if we're not literally racing in this racing game yet, the train should be racing to get his jobs done before it, right?
Oh, this is why we don't use tank engines anymore. Where's Thomas the Japanese bullet train? Is that really what we're doing?
Hopefully the quality will jump back up as we head over to the Play series again with EyeToy Play Astro Zoo, the first game I've ever seen that confirms my belief that children are animals. And I'm sure you're asking the same question that I was. What is an Astro Zoo? I know. Oh, okay, so it's a zoo in space. And the story is that that's a bad idea, so you've been sent up to fix it and stop the animals from suffocating and being sucked through a hole in the ship. This is yet another EyeToy Play game. It's the 5th one made by the same people. So you know it's going to work well, but you also know what kind of games to expect. You know that you'll get points for beating the shit out of a squirrel. It's par for the course at this point. What's that? We've got to squeeze a satellite out of a choking snake? Yep, nothing out of the ordinary here. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just spanking the dangly bit of a shark. Just another Monday. I love Mondays. Quick, run after the crocodile before he gets into the captain's cockpit and eats his cockpit off.
Wow, how lucky am I? It's a brand new day, and there's no more EyeToy games for me to play.
Uh-oh, I forgot.
There's an EyeToy game in the sea!
EyeToy Play Hero, the first game I've ever seen that can swim, and also a game about a little boy who's holding a sword like this. Are you attacking someone with a sword or stirring cheese? And that's not the only odd thing going on. Look at the box the game comes. Sword or stirring cheese. And that's not the only odd thing going on. Look at the...
I have PT... I remember that pose. I know that Cal Kestis has been using that pose in combat. And I have PTSD from playing Jedi Fallen Order.
box the game comes with. What on earth is in here? A rolling pin. What cool stuff is in this box? Well, an EyeToy camera, the game, a sword.
Back up a second. This box has a sword in it. No, it doesn't. It's tiny. God, if you manage to get a full-size sword into this box, then my name is... The box didn't say it came with the boy.
And as it turns out, I was right. Here's the sword. How much more uselessly miniature could you be? This isn't a sword, it's a toothbrush. Well, hey, at least it looks kind of cool, and it glows in the dark.
It's alright though, I do get it. You give a monkey an axe and suddenly you're in a wheelchair. You don't want to give an excited child a giant club to swing around. So with that being said, why is it that this foam sword that bends smacks shit harder than a snooker ball in a sock? This can do... Ow.
Don't have any green objects on screen, don't wear green clothes, and don't play in overexposed light in a green tinted room.
Oh. Wait, he actually gotten all of that? How much money does this guy make? Also, this is the first PlayStation EyeToy so far where it actually has a memorable gimmick this time. Where, unlike other previous games, you got a sword. However, you gotta be careful. You can't have any green color, my favorite color by the way, on screen except for the giant dildo.
Oh no, the Black Knight has invaded, the food is gone, and the villagers have gone feral. But don't worry, because if anyone can help us, it's Caddy, the frumpy knight. And he has a magic sword, which you don't know how to use, so you're guided along by this gentleman.
That no good warlock imprisoned me in here to help him steal all the stones of Illustria.
And I don't want to make judgments about this guy or start throwing around accusations without any evidence, but let's just say his favorite part of Leon the Professional is Natalie Portman. This magic sword, by the way, for all intents and purposes, is a lightsaber. So if any of you out there felt like your hopes were dashed by Star Wars Kinect, well then get this game because it's 10 times better, 10 times more responsive, and you're holding a physical object you can swing around like a true hero.
Those kids think they are pretty cute.
I knew it. Sure, there's a little bit of lag, and yes, this is an entire game just about swinging a sword and holding it in certain positions. But goddamn, it's a game about swinging a sword and holding it in certain positions that works great and makes you feel really sad. What more do you need? There's duels, there's horse riding while cutting down trees, there's arrow guarding, there's apples. You know, aside from the... This is yet another well-made EyeToy play game. If you want to take anything away from this video today, at the very least know that if it says EyeToy Play on the box, then it is part of that series.
But you know what you can do to make it better? Attach the game bundle box to the sword to make it longer. You know what's even better than that? Another sword. And another box.
You know, Snap was never the same after the Rice Krispie Wars.
And with that, we've made it. The final game ever made for the PS2 EyeToy before it stopped having games made for it.
If there is one thing that EyeToy Play Pom Pom Party
A girl
proves
game.
above anything else, it's that I'm not funny. Which I already knew, but now it's an indisputable fact, because this game, not only being the final EyeToy exclusive release before it bit the dust.
Oh my gosh. I wonder how many people in the world, when they were kids, boy kids, playing video games, and often thought it's outright say to a girl, whether it's they're the same age or someone older than them, just outright say, it's for boys. Sheesh. I was playing Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii one time, and crap, I forgot what the word is. I still can't get it right all these years. Nephew? I guess. My oldest stepsister? I think she said something about, ooh, I like to play that game or something. And I remember saying, it's for boys. Sheesh. My gosh, I was simple-minded back. When I was in high school, when I was reading fan fictions, whenever I see female and female romantic relationships, I was kind of a homophobe back then. But, to be fair, that was because I lived under a rock. I see that stuff and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. But I wasn't open back then. I was kind of a complete asshole who had only one goal, and I'm just like, come on, I don't like school. I just want to play music and stuff. I basically just want to get things over with and do as much schoolwork as possible so I can get back to listening music or watching stuff on my laptop, which I was lucky enough to bring. And some classrooms I've been to, they're like, you know what? It's okay to play on your laptop as long as you're doing work productively. As long as it doesn't impede your progress, you're allowed to have a laptop. While some others are like, nope, no laptop. This requires you to have your full ears on. Despite the fact that I'm not that good at paying. The point is, I was a close-minded asshole. Sometimes. And whenever I see my favorite character get into a lesbian relationship, I was just like, ugh. But nowadays, I am completely fine, and I am completely for LGBT community. And besides, I find lesbian sex to be quite hot. Yeah, I think this one time I saw lesbian sex, and I was just like, you know what? Perhaps there was more to this than I thought. Okay, let's move on. Let's just finish this. 4 minutes left. My gosh, we are finally at the end.
But also coming out the same year as GTA 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Dead Space is a joke that I am just unable to make up myself. It's also one of the most progressive games of the time, not because of all the race inclusions on the box, but all the species inclusions. You've got girl.
The same year, The Dark Knight, Hancock, whatever, 2008. Seriously, the final PlayStation EyeToy that's meant for little girls came out the exact same year as some iconic games.
Fish, 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 and fish. That's not the only interesting thing.
Sonic Unleashed! You forgot Sonic Unleashed!
The kitchen sink U-bend copper piping box is not only the game, but 2 EyeToy branded cheerleading pom-poms, which are now unironically the coolest things I probably own right now.
My name's Savannah.
Number one girl, you're my BFB. Say once, say twice, you're my queen, honey. I'm ready, I'm steady, you know I'm good to go. I'm slicker than your average, no one never says no.
Caddy, he's our man. If he can do it, no one can. Yeah, boys.
Oh crap! It's the Rozzers. No, wait, stop. Just end game. Stop filming me. Quit. Why? You're not quitting. I need you to. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. I can like this stuff. It's the fine. Look, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not hurting anyone. See? Look, I don't need. Look, see this box here? Don't need it. See? Check this out. Watch this go. I'm not the one with the problem. You're the one with the problem. You think this is weird? Well, you know, there's no.
You're burning it. Then again, it might be not worth of any value.
And that was the EyeToy. So even though for the majority, this modest little PS2 camera kind of fell over and died and farted on your mum, its legacy and impact can't be understated, especially for just silly, fun, casual console games. By 2008, it sold over 10 million units. It predated the Wii and Kinect. I can confidently say it does work more consistently than Kinect does, at least, and it needs to be remembered if for no other reason than how fun it is to experience Sega Soup. We have been through its entire sordid catalog, and even though I do find it sad how most American friends of mine either barely remember it or just don't know what it is at all, I'm happy at least knowing that when I was a kid, 90% of people I knew of were talking about it or owned it. It's such an odd anomaly, not only of PS2 history, but video game history as a whole, especially for the region differences. It also lasted way longer than you'd expect. If you wanted to, you could even use this blurry old minger for taking pictures in the original Little Big Planet for PS3. I built my own level with it. that's not all. I mean, look at how the first PSVR worked for PS4. To track where the headset was, it used the PlayStation camera, which was an update of the PS3 PlayStation Eye, which was an update of the PS2 EyeToy.
EyeToy. Eye. Camera. Why did they gouge it out? I'm so sorry you lost your eye, PlayStation.
It's okay, I've learned to live without it. I've got other ways of knowing you're there anyway.
Oh yeah? Like what? Oh no! It's the PlayStation nose!
Subscribe.
I have not owned any virtual reality headsets whatsoever. I have no interest in them. And I know a few people online on Discord who has them and just mess around with it and have fun, but I certainly don't have it. Mostly because I didn't see a point. And even if I was interested, it costs money, and I'd be better off buying other games for a cheap price if I'm looking to find it on Steam. I think there's one time that there is a certain kind of virtual reality headset or something that's capable of motion capture of all things, but I think it was too complicated or it just cost money to buy. So instead, I just ended up with the Kinects and downloading files online to convert to Blender. Also, PlayStation. PlayStation does things better than Xbox. This just proves it. Sorry, Xbox. I don't care if you got Halo. You do motion-based games, Kinect games badly. You deserve to be bullied. You don't deserve Metal Gear Solid 4 or Revengeance.